What up?
What up? Welcome to another one different episode of Who Cares? Episode 25, week 25. Man.
It's kind of ironic how our name is Who Cares, but I feel like we get really into stuff and like
yeah.
But the underlying aspect of the name I feel is like, because at the end of the day, who cares?
Who cares?
So don't ever forget that.
Exactly. Our opinions are just that. They're our own opinions.
Yeah. I always say too when I give like advice or my opinion, I'm like, but I'm a piece of shit, so take with that for what you will, because I don't know.
But look
anything.
at my life. Look at where I'm at.
I know nothing, so really don't put any emphasis on what I have to say.
Right.
So.
We're two 20-something-year-old white guys that have a podcast,
That's
so
right. Yep.
We haven't made it far. So
right.
Don't take this to heart. No, don't go, hey, David and the Teach really have some mindful things to
right.
say.
I'm really going to change our life around because of this. Like, yeah, don't.
Yeah, don't. We almost had, we were presented the topic to have explosive diarrhea. No.
Yeah.
If you've heard of the sugar-free gummy bear challenge, do that on your own.
Hey, you do it. Write a nice little excerpt on it and send it in. We will read it.
Yeah.
In the most greatest of ways. I am good at reading shit. So
right. It's like,
it'll sound very epic.
So we were presented, so apparently, real quick to get into this, we were presented the idea to do the sugar-free gummy bear challenge, which essentially, I don't know how to pronounce it, Haribo? I don't know.
I think it's Haribo.
That gummy bear company, you know, the gold one.
Yeah. OG.
Apparently, they have a sugar-free gummy bear.
Which can't be new, right? That's gotta have been.
It's gotta be It's gotta be super old. I've never heard of it until now. I honestly thought they were always sugar-free. But,
I got been eating by the handful.
Yeah,
there was no sugar in these.
So, whatchamacallit? So, apparently, this whole sugar-free gummy bear thing, if you eat a whole bunch of them, like, if you have a couple, that's fine. But if you eat, like, in excess, apparently the sugar substitute that's in these gummy bears wrecks your colon and just wrecks your stomach and digestive system beyond all belief, where numerous amounts of people have taken to Amazon and the internet to write their reviews of this sugar-free gummy bear in great detail of their explosive diarrhea. And somebody asked us to do that, and I'm like, no, we're not going to do it.
We're volunteers.
So
I can't take time off of my job to have explosive diarrhea.
Exactly.
For
so
this podcast.
The most I've ever spent on this show is possibly $10 on the
Right.
Facebook promotion thing.
Yep.
But yeah, other than
plenty
that,
of time and
exactly
and exertion, but that's about as much as I'm willing to do.
Exactly. And also too, if you're counting the booze, the amount of money I've spent on booze each week.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
the expense all on its own.
yeah, we've done enough. But yeah, so look up the sugar-free gummy bear challenge.
So, and if you want to sponsor my day off, I'm down.
Right.
I get paid $17 an hour, and I work 6 hours a day. So if you're willing to push that up, and plus the gummy bears, I will do it. But that's the only way.
I already have enough stomach problems that you would never, this would be the series finale.
Yeah.
Of fucking Who Cares.
I'm like, I wake up every morning and take 3 Tums.
Yeah, right. It's like, it's not a healthy sight.
Right.
Well, speaking of series finales, Rosanne, you blink and you miss it.
I posted that meme where it's Chris Tucker and Friday going, how the fuck you get fired on your day off?
Right? You must be a dumb motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
Oh my god.
So Rosanne Barr, as everyone knows, is America's sweetheart. She took to Twitter to say some pretty dumb things. I read the tweet. I read the tweet earlier today, but I don't remember it quite vividly. I know she was calling out... Who was she calling out?
She was calling out the past... I want to say secretary of Obama.
Okay.
Barack Obama. I want to say it's a secretary. It was someone under him. For every administration, they get a new secretary, and for the term. And I want to say it's the secretary. But, yeah, she likened... And she's a African-American woman. I want to say Muslim as well. And she said that this woman let me see if I can pull it up while I'm talking. But she said that this woman was basically the Muslim Brotherhood plus Planet of the Apes equals this woman.
lady. She was a child of the Muslim Brotherhood.
I don't know. No, she probably wasn't actually, but the Muslim Brotherhood is kind of, a lot of the like Republicans liken it to like the KKK. It's not. It's a black community thing of Muslim. There's a lot of Muslim background with Black Americans. So just to say that, and I think it's because she wore like a hijab or something. So it's Valerie Jarrett. So she said, and she deleted her thing.
Yeah.
But she said, Muslim Brotherhood plus and Planet of the Apes equals a baby equals VJ, meaning Valerie Jarrett. She was a black woman who worked as an advisor for the Barack Obama presidency.
Is terrible.
It's first of all, not every black Muslim is part of the Black Brotherhood. Also, that's another thing. They're like a fraternity or something, you know. Mm-hmm. For black Americans in the country. So that's racist right off the back to just assimilate them to the same thing. Plus, the Planet of the Apes thing, the monkey thing with black Americans has always been like a propaganda. That's always been a point of white Americans putting down on black Americans as being like underdeveloped or the missing link type of aspect, like if they're lower than the race, you know. Mm-hmm. And it's an old racial thing. It's just like Germans with Jews liking them to rats. That was a big part of the Germany propaganda of Jewish people being rats. So, like, we don't call Jewish people rats because they have a big history of that, right? So, for Roseanne Barr to do that, at this day and age, ABC was very smart to just go, yep, look, like you're out.
I'm surprised they didn't cancel her show before it even came out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's
so of the way she is, yeah.
Yeah, and also too, she did a photo shoot where she was dressed up as Hitler, baking Jewish cookies in an oven.
Yeah, and you know it's funny because she even has Jewish ties. She's
really,
you know what I mean? Yeah, she's Jewish American, which is probably where that comes from. She might have been playing with that, which is probably why they gave her a pass with that. Even so, there were a lot of people upset about this reboot because of all that and how she is. Mm-hmm. She had a statement too when Hillary Clinton, the first time when Obama ran before this last presidency, because it was between him and Hillary Clinton, and he got the candidacy for the Democrats. Mm-hmm. She said Barack Obama should bow down to the woman. She's always been a big feminist, right? So that was her plight, was that Hillary Clinton, she was for that. She was a Democrat, and that Barack Obama should, and that was like telling a black man to bow down to a white woman is just
right.
Like you just even if she had the feminist background with that, it just she's always had this background. But the show was fucking good. I just finished the season before David came over because I had it DVR'd. And I've been watching it just kind of sporadically, but I finished the last 3 episodes just because I knew it was canceled. But god damn it was a good show. I mean, they did it good. They did a good justice to it of rebooting, and people liked it too. That was the thing, is that it was getting good ratings. Right. So it just sucks for us as the fans and for all the cast.
It sucks. That was my thing. The girl that plays her daughter. A
couple of them. Darlene or Becky?
I think Darlene. I don't know. The black hair girl.
Yeah. Okay. She was on.
The Talk.
Big Bang. Oh
yeah. She's in Big Bang Theory. Uh-huh. She took to Twitter and be like, "This is totally unfair to all the hard work and hours that they put into the show to bring it to the fans, that everyone's being punished for the ideals of one woman." Which I agree. As as a performer, as somebody that really loves TV, movie, and everything like that, to have everything stopped, all the hard work based upon one person. I mean, and I know
her name was on the show.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, and also too, this thing that sucks too is that they already filmed the whole entire season. They put it out. The show that they're premiering right now, like the new episodes and stuff. Uh-huh. They filmed it all. Yeah. And it's just a matter of releasing it each week.
Paid for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like that
network buying
sucks. It. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it really is a shitty thing. I've always been one to playing that devil's advocate, I guess you can say, to be like the opinions of one person, like kind of when I was talking about Kanye West. Like, I don't care who they are as a person. I don't care what their political views are. I like him for the music. I like him just because he puts out the music. So, and then I'm kind of going back on myself here, saying that Yeah, like
growth, David.
Yeah. So like saying like, oh yeah, I'm so glad they canceled Roseanne. Like because I've never liked Roseanne Barr. I've never really found her funny. I found her like, but never like, oh my god. I never was a big fan of the original Roseanne. It was funny, but again, it wasn't like a show I would revisit.
It's not comedic genius.
Exactly, and so I'm kind of like, good. My main thing, because I hate reboots altogether.
Yeah.
Like, so I was on like,
you too.
good.
We've had an episode.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm glad. Not so much for her political thing, which is shitty, you know, for what she said. That's a very terrible thing, especially in this day and age, to kind of go out that kind of avenue.
The climate of it, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad for ABC. But then people started bashing ABC because they're like, well, why don't other shows cancel for making fun of Donald Trump? And you have Stephen Colbert, Bill Maher, Bill Maher, SNL with Alec Baldwin every week, you know, portraying Donald Trump. It's like, but I don't know.
Well, it's totally different, I think, because the president always gets the short end of the stick, especially when it comes to comedy in America.
Exactly.
That's part of their
no president's
deal.
ever been safe.
No, they all even Obama, who the media loved as a Democrat and everything, they were still did jabs at him, you know, the way he talked, and his blackness was always kind of put into question, right?
Right.
And it was not as probably aggressive as they always are with Republican candidates. But and the same thing, so that anything that is making fun of Trump, whatever, to me that's just fair game. One thing that I saw was where they have likened Trump to a monkey. But in the sense of his intelligence, like he's just a dumb monkey, like the way he, you know, they have snapshots of the way his face looks, and he's like, baring teeth and like just big agape mouth, you know, and then they put like this white monkey. It's always a white monkey too, you know, like an albino one or something. And I've seen posts already where like, oh, when they do it to Trump, it's whatever, but as soon as Roseanne Barr does it, shit goes down. It's like, yeah, it's totally different. Like, liking Trump to a monkey because because they're saying that
he's stupid.
He has a primitive mind like a monkey is one thing, especially because he has a white person and monkeys have no connotation. Not like the way people used to literally think that black people were the closest genetic match to a monkey versus the white man, which is more evolved. You know, there's that old mentality that the white man's evolved, the black people are lower than whites because they're closest to the primates in the chain of evolution. That's an old fucking stigma. It's a wrong stigma, and it's one you can't perpetuate. Like, and if you're a white person doing that, it's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. And her name was slapped across, you know, the show. Roseanne. She makes the most money out of everyone there. You know, it's her fucking show. She has the say all. I, as a fan, am very saddened about it because I liked the show, and and even watching it today, I'm like, God damn it was going in such a good way. It was progressive too, you know. In one of the episodes, she has a Muslim neighbor. I like the show because she's always been very real about stuff, but makes fun of it because it's, you know, it's relatable.
Right.
One of the episodes, she has a Muslim or like a Middle Eastern. They don't even say they're Muslim. They're just a Middle Eastern looking couple that moved next door, and the whole episode is just about Roseanne and the character being paranoid that they're ISIS or they're terrorists. Goes over, they have a big heart-to-heart, you know, they realize they're just people, and still even Roseanne's still kind of boorish and kind of crass about the whole situation, but in the end you're just like, yeah, they're just people. Like, it was a good fucking message, and it was funny, and it was clever, and it was relevant, it wasn't cheesy, they did it in like a very clever way, very enjoyable to watch, and especially in the climate, and then for her to, in real life, do this, and then she tweeted, you know, she retweeted and said, you know, she apologized.
She said, like, I'm leaving Twitter or whatever.
I'm leaving Twitter. She said, please forgive me for my horrible joke. Like, and that also, I like Roseanne. Even though I don't agree with her political aspects at all. But she's very, like, from the hip. You know, she shoots from the hip. You know what she's about. And that's admirable, at least, you know. And that's someone that I can at least... She's not all fucking racist. And she's kind of trying to mend things, I feel like. There's always this aspect of not tribalizing stuff where it's like us against them. It's like, well, yeah, it's funny when we do that, but really she mends kind of other, I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say.
Right.
But so in that aspect, she's cool to me. But yeah, What's also good is that it's showing a society where things are not, you're not always fucking safe. You know, there was a time where this would have happened and ABC would have said, yeah, but this makes good money, so fuck it. You know, we're just going to stay away from that. We won't say anything about it.
What's Twitter?
Yeah, let's just keep it hush-hush, but just keep putting out those episodes. And people would have watched. I would have still watched, you know.
People would have tuned in even more. They're like, what's going on around
Right, what is ABC going to change about it, you know? So I think it's kind of refreshing, too, that ABC did take a stand and did this, even though as a viewer and as a fan, it sucks for me, but it's kind of cool that, like, yeah, no one's fucking safe. Watch what the fuck you say. You can't... Even though people are going to think what they're going to think, you can't be public about it because that's not okay anymore. So, good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's just crazy. And
all
that happened is, who cares? That just happened today. Breaking news.
Oh, yeah, today.
Today.
Yeah, it really did.
Man, yeah, that was just insane. Because it was such a big, like, oh, it's coming back. Roseanne's coming back. And then in the blink of an eye,
gone. One season. Dude. It was good too. I'm always kind of wondering, like, what if, like, when the season comes around next year, they're going to be like, okay, actually, we did kind of not pick it up, but we're actually going to pick it up because...
Right, we're bringing it back.
Just so y'all know, we're not okay with that. We did cancel it for a while, but actually we're bringing it back because Roseanne apologized and, you know, something like that. Who knows? Which I'm all for. Cause
who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
That's funny. And speaking of who cares, a big fuck you to the NBA Finals. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors.
Was it you that posted that post?
And I said fuck both teams?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me. So look. I don't care.
Put his drink down.
Yeah, I put my... No, I'm going to take a quick drink here.
Take your drink.
Hope you heard that slam. Here's my thing. The whole argument, LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, enough. It's two different eras of game, two different styles of playing. Both players are great and amazing. But you know what? If you pit LeBron James against Michael Jordan in the 90s, and the 90s style of playing basketball, Michael Jordan wins. If you pit Michael Jordan in this modern age style of basketball, in today's modern age, LeBron James wins. Cut plain and dry, plain and simple. Cut and dry, plain and simple. That's what I meant to say.
You know, even I'd agree, but at the same time, you don't even know how this player in his prime would react to the new way of playing games. You still have to think about, well, how would he adapt to it? You know,
exactly.
So
and that's the thing. So
it's really just preference. Who do you really want to?
I love both players.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I love LeBron James. Do I agree with a lot of his complaining on the court? No. With the way he tries to flop and get fouls?
Jordan was kind of the same way, though, right? If you look at it.
Jordan was very aggressive.
Yeah.
He actually started a lot of fights with players back in the day, you know, and he was considered a crybaby and everything, but he's still a good player. A lot of those really tough competitive players are kind of like that, unfortunately. You know, the way you look at it. You would hope they wouldn't be like that, like the Spurs players are. The Spurs players rarely complain, rarely get teased or in foul trouble or anything like that. Or crazy trouble, like, you know, you have, like, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, LeBron James, James Harden, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, like, a lot of these players and everything. But I'm just tired of seeing the same two teams. This is the fourth year in a row, the fourth finals in a row, the same two fucking teams. I'm starting to really think it's like WWE. Like, it's starting to be really fucking predictive. You know what I mean? All this stuff is happening, but the main event's still going to be the same two people. Right. Like, so Roman Reigns is taking all these L's everywhere.
Money-generating teams, too.
Exactly. It's like, you know, fucking Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar doing all this other side stuff. Oh, here comes WrestleMania. Oh, they're the main event. It's like, boo. Yeah. Boo. And fuck Steph Curry. So, the thing that pisses me off is that this year was really an unpredictable year. You had teams that have usually been straight ass rise to glory, you know, this one year, like the Philadelphia 76ers. Holy shit. This season came out of nowhere, like, with how good they were doing, and I'm really bummed, because that was my initial prediction for the finals, was Houston and Philly. I was like, no, it's going to be Houston and Philly in the finals, and Philly's going to take it. This is Philly's year, I can guarantee it. Well, Philadelphia lost in the playoffs, and, Eastern Conference Finals, Boston and Cleveland. Cleveland comes out strong, you know, gets early lead in the series, back and forth, goes to Game 7. Like any good type of playoff series would. I watched the game on Sunday. Boston and Cleveland. Boston first half, dominating. Keeping LeBron minimalized. keep, defense on point, perfect. Third quarter runs around, and it's like Boston goes, you know what? We got this game won. So let's go out and have fun, okay, guys? And that kicks him in the ass because LeBron James comes out at halftime like, no, we need to get shit done. This is not going to be our final game of the season, guys. We got to do this. So with LeBron's mentality and Celtics, fuck it, whatever. LeBron single-handedly kicks all of their asses, bends them over on his own knee, spanks every Celtic by himself. Because the Cleveland doesn't do anything for LeBron. It's all LeBron.
Yeah, and that's another thing that you always hear. And I didn't watch this season at all. I was busy. I didn't watch it at all. But all I see on Facebook is everyone being like, there's LeBron again, just carry. It's like a boring game. It's not even an enjoyable game for the fans or for people watching. It's like, LeBron just carries the team. It's like, there's no aspect of teamwork or conglomeracy within the players. Like,
it's all bandwagon. It's all bandwagon. Yeah. Because when LeBron James first came out, when he was like, he's going straight from high school to basketball to the NBA. Ooh, so everybody jumped on the LeBron James.
Same time, though, anytime LeBron goes to the city, everyone buys tickets.
Exactly.
The NBA loves LeBron because everyone wants to go see LeBron play.
Like, when he comes and plays the Spurs, man, ticket prices skyrocket, too. Mm-hmm. It's because the game will sell out, so they bump the prices.
Yep.
And it's like, God, it's so crazy. Same thing with Golden State. Nobody gave... Steph Curry's played with Golden State for almost 9 years now. For almost a whole decade, and people have only started giving a shit about him about 4 years ago. So for the first 4 years, where were all these Steph Curry fans? Nowhere. Because they didn't have a good coach, they didn't have a good supporting team, a good supporting bench. So now that Steph Curry finally has that, I've always been a Golden State fan. Fuck you. No, you haven't. Tell me their coach from back in the day, because I sure as hell can't tell you. Because you know why? I don't follow Golden State.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who their coach was. Yeah. But then you put ex-Spurs, Stephen Kerr, all the people in San Antonio, Kerr's their coach.
Reverse that instead of Steph Curry, Stephen Kerr.
Yeah, Stephen Kerr. So, I don't know. And then it just pisses me off. And same thing with last night. So I was only going through Houston just because I didn't want to see Golden State, because I typically can't stand Houston. I want to rip James Harden's beard straight off his face. Yeah. But last night I was Harden, cooking and everything. So I'm like, fuck again. First half, fucking Harden and Tucker, everybody's just putting in work. Steph Curry's missing everything. Durant's playing like a bitch, like he is. Draymond Green's a little cocksucker too. They're all playing like little assholes. Houston goes to the locker room. Hey, you know what, guys? We did it. We got this. We're going to the finals, all right? Let's go out there and have some fun, all right? And then Steph Curry and the boys are all like, nah, guys, we're not going down in H-Town. Fuck Paul Wall. We're going out there and we're taking shit out. Houston missed 27 three-pointers in a row. They were only going for threes. They missed 27. What's 27 times 3? Or what's 27 3 points? What is that?
It's over 100.
So they gave up over 100 points in the second half just because they wouldn't go for threes. They wouldn't go for twos. They were only trying for threes.
Now I gotta think about it. 86 points.
86 points. Well, either way, they gave up a whole game's worth of points in just 2 quarters.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking pathetic. So then Houston gets eliminated because they walking around with their dicks in their hands like, we got it. One versus all. And I'm like, God damn it. Fucking Houston and Boston. You were the chosen ones. God. It just pisses me off. So I posted to Facebook last night. I was like, I'm not going to watch a single second of the finals. Not that my one view is going to make a difference.
Hey, but your cholesterol, though, your blood pressure.
It was raising last night. And by the way, my blood pressure last night was all over the place, and we'll get more into that later with the Jerk of the Week segment. But yeah, so fuck the NBA Finals. Fuck both teams. It's nothing but bandwagoners. Like, that's all it is. You're not a true fan. Fuck you. You're not a true fan. I only know one true Cleveland fan, and it's because she's from fucking Ohio. And my dad's from Ohio, and he doesn't even like the Cleveland Cavaliers or Cleveland Browns. Nothing. So it's like any Ohio basketball team. So it's like, fuck you. No, you're not a fan. You only like it because it's popular to like it.
Yeah.
I need a drink.
Yeah. Enjoy your drink. So, I've been on Facebook. So I had a very relaxing weekend. I went to the beach.
Oh, nice! I saw.
And so I'm kind of red. I use 100 SPF too. And
See, told you.
I'm big about, but I haven't even.
You're putting it on
redness.
wrong.
Well, David, I don't have fucking spackle looking fucking like.
Well,
you
I
did.
also have dry skin. You know, I have very bad, roughy, dry skin. Okay, like see, I don't know if you can tell, but you see all this?
Oh my god,
those are dry skin patches.
David, you need to moisturize. You need to love
I
yourself
do.
and
Leslie,
moisturize.
trust me, I'm hiding my
Yeah.
lips like I'm ashamed. Leslie puts lotion on me.
Yeah.
And
well, I wear a tank top at the beach.
And
so
I use very
this part of our
moisturizing
body is still
soap.
baby white. So, but I get red. It's funny. I used to tan really well. I remember in high school I used to tan. I used to just get like buttery brown. I used to look good. Now I just get fucking red, and my nose gets fucking red, and my right on the spots where it just all the sun hit. But and to be honest, I go in the water every now and then, just kind of swim a little bit. I come back out as soon as I dry off a little bit. We bought the lotion, 100 SPF lotion, which I put on like an hour before I went out, so it would sink in. Then we buy the spray SPF 100, so that as I reapply, just fucking spray everything. I think the only thing I didn't do was my legs, and those are kind of sunburned too. Bit, yeah, that fucking sucks in the shower when I have the loofah. I'm like, fuck. And I still got red. But anyways, I had a pretty relaxing weekend, so I didn't really have. I was kind of unplugged. It was nice. We just sat on the beach. We had the nice 60-degree AC fucking room, which is probably half the best part of the weekend is just putting that AC out and not giving a shit about it. But one thing I found was 30-year-old man being evicted from his parents' house because he doesn't want to leave. And they have enticed him. They asked him to just move out. He said no. They said, look, we'll give you like a month or like 3 weeks. They go, we'll even give you like $1,600 or something when you move out to like do your thing. He said, no. He said, no, I'm cool. I want to stay here. Not have to do anything. They had to take him to court. They had to take him to fucking court. And you can watch. I will post it. I'm going to post it right now.
Right. Because you always say that.
I'm going to post it right now on the show. On the podcast website. Of him defending why he wants to stay, and it's just the cringiest fucking thing.
What was he saying?
So he was saying, like, in this economy, I just can't afford it. And they're my parents, so they have to, I need more time. I can't move out in 3 weeks or a month. I need at least 6 to 8 months. And the judge is like, you're 30 years old. Like, you've had from 18 till now, like years to like prepare for this. This isn't like you're fresh out of high school, like they're kicking you out. This is like, what have you been doing with your life? And he's just like, well, that's just not my problem. It's my parents' problem. They had me. I'm their child. They have to take care of me until I'm ready, and I'm not ready yet. And it really sucks also because he's I guess 30-year-olds are considered millennials? I don't know. I guess so, because a lot of people are propagating as millennial laziness and this aspect of now. So that's what I want to talk about too, is this. I can't imagine. So I've been working since I was 15. Mm-hmm. My 15th birthday, I fucking went. I was so excited because I knew HEB hired at 15. They were the only places I knew that would hire at 15, not 16. 15th birthday, I went and put an application in this manager's hand. I was like, it's my 15th birthday. I want a job. Here's my application. And the manager probably didn't really give a shit, but I was so into it. They thought, why not give this guy, he's like, okay. So I got a job bagging, and I've had a job since 15. Like, I don't think I've been without a job more than 2 weeks. Because even if I quit a job, my dad was always like, you can't quit a job until you have another job lined up, right?
Right.
Then one time I got laid off, but it was only because they found out I was trying to get another job, which I did get it. So my thing is, since 15, I'm 26 now, I can't even imagine not working. Like, I can't even imagine getting laid off and just being like, I have... one of my acquaintances, he worked for like oil rig or something like that, right? And they got laid off. And I guess he was making decent money. They make about, I don't know, maybe $17, $18 an hour out there, blah, blah, blah. And they work, 3 weeks at a time and take 2 weeks off. But he got laid off and was like, I'm not getting a job. I'm not getting a job unless I'm getting paid $17 an hour. And then like he went like months was just out working just because if I'm not getting paid $17, I know my worth. I'm not taking a job less than that, right? And I'm like, but you're getting paid $0. Like, you're worth $0 right now. Like, you were getting 17, but it's an entry-level job, and it falls through. That's what happens with those types of jobs. Not knocking them. It's just, that's something you can prepare for. You have to think about with those type of jobs. And so now you're not working, so why wouldn't you just get, like, a bullshit... Not knock on these either, but, work at McDonald's for in between, or Walmart or something, just so that you have all this time. Why the fuck not? And if you're not going to school either, like, that's taking up time too. Like, go look for a better job too if you want, if you think you need a better job. Well, how do you feel about the working scenario, so, especially with our generation?
Yeah, so this is how I feel, and it's I'll try to condense it, because it's not a super long story, but I know I've told the story many times. I don't know if I've told it on the podcast. So yeah, I've been working since I was 16. I started working at SeaWorld, and this is what got me to get my first job, is because Bon Jovi was coming to San Antonio in January, and when I turned 16, I was like, Dad, I want to go see Bon Jovi, Mom, I want to go see it. We're like, hey, well, you're 16 now, you're going to have to get a job and buy those tickets yourself. I was like, fine, fuck you guys, I'll do it, whatever. So I applied at SeaWorld, I didn't start until after the concert, but I totally forgot about Bon Jovi because I was so pumped I started working. So ever since 16, I've been working, and I worked at SeaWorld a season. As soon as SeaWorld season was over, I would go to Walmart to do the holiday stuff. As soon as the holiday stuff was over, I was going back to SeaWorld, do the whole year, from January all the way to like September, October, November. Go back to Walmart, left Walmart to go back to SeaWorld. Yeah. Then I did SeaWorld as a supervisor, left SeaWorld, went back to Walmart.
And SeaWorld does like seasonal things, right?
Exactly.
So they can come back.
Yes, so actually when I left as a supervisor, that's the longest period I've gone without a job, because that was in September of 2013. Because it was August of 2013, because it was just before I started college for the first time. Mm-hmm. The only time. And so then when I started college, I wasn't working, and my parents were giving me money to go out and do stuff and whatnot. But the thing was...
They were
giving me money.
I see. Okay.
So I was
still
with my parents, but they were giving me money so I could, like, buy food.
Yeah, gas.
Like, gas money and everything. But I was becoming a club promoter. I was going around promoting shows and raves and stuff, so I was going all over Texas, to Houston, to Dallas, to Laredo, to El Paso, to Austin, I was driving around tremendously, and the little money I would get, I'd be like, you travel from San Antonio, help out here, like, here's $30, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. That would get you, half a tank. Back in that time, gas was really bad.
Right.
So it was, and I was constantly, and luckily, like, my parents had access to my account, so they would transfer me money and everything. I wouldn't have to actually use cash. It'd be like, hey, can you put money in my account? Mm-hmm. Well, where are you driving? Oh, I'm just driving everywhere. I'm seeing things. It's not okay, whatever. I didn't tell my parents a lot about it, because they'd be like, that's stupid. That's wasting your time. And then I was in theater, so like
this was in high school.
This was in college.
Oh, in college. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't start getting super into it until I graduated high school. But I was working, so I was able to fund my own stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it was just getting really expensive, and then I started skipping school, and so I was constantly going out and getting fast food and everything. So kind of that, and that's when I wasn't working, because my parents were like, if you're in school, we'll give you money for it. Like, we'll give you money for stuff.
It's a fair trade.
All right, whatever.
It takes up a good amount of time that you can't go to work for.
But, so the one specific day where I was like, fuck school, I'm not going to get a piece of paper, I'm making money, was when I had an old friend from El Paso. Well, she went to elementary school with me for kindergarten and first grade, and then she moved to El Paso.
I used to kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah. Fuck you. So we reconnected on Facebook, not like a dating thing or anything like that. She was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but my name is Elizabeth. I'm going to be in San Antonio.
He was fucking this girl.
I was not. And she would not be impressed by me that day. So I was with my buddy, and then she was like, hey, we're going to be downtown. I would love to catch up if you're available. I'm only going to be in San Antonio for tonight. We're going to grab dinner on the Riverwalk, go to some clubs, and then we're going to be going to Austin. And I'm like, oh, I won't be able to go out clubbing, but I would love to have dinner or whatever. my mom had already given me $25 that day, and I already spent that $25 for food for me and my buddy and gas, and I was running very low on gas. And I was like, fuck, well, that's downtown. And I forgot, I think it was on a Friday. I can't remember when it was on and what day of the week, but I remember going online. I was like, well, how much is parking downtown? And it said free after 6. So I was like, excellent. That's all I read was free parking downtown after 6.
Yeah.
Didn't read anything into it. So I parked.
Why would you? It's free after 6.
Exactly. So I parked at the River Center. Like, whatever.
Oh, Lord.
Like, no big deal. Went out to have dinner, but I remember asking my mom, hey, Mom, can you transfer me some money? I'm only giving you $15 because you already gave me money today.
Yeah.
So for $15, me and my buddy shared a small appetizer plate of 3 tacos and 2 glasses of water. And that came out to $12.
Ugh.
Of 3 little mini tacos.
Oh, yeah. Where
And
are
I
you
think
at?
Rita's on the River.
I've expressed my disdain for the
Exactly. So we're eating that, and the girl, like, it was her and 2 other friends that are like, well, do you need us to buy you food? And we're like, no, we had a big lunch.
Not.
Like,
yeah.
We're fine. We just want to talk and everything. So we're all talking and everything like that. We leave there. We start walking the river walk. He's putting the Mac on the 2 other chicks. I'm just catching up. I'm like, man, that's so crazy. You even remember me? How'd you find me? Da-da-da-da. And so then they're like, well, we're going to get into some clubs and this and that. If you guys want to join, we'll pay for your cover and everything. We're like, nah, we're going to get going. So whatever, right? So we go back to the car, we leave, and the thing's not going up to get out of the gate. And so I'm like, what the fuck? And it's saying like $15.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then I'm thinking, I was like, I thought it was free parking and this and that. And I was like, oh, I remember from like 10 years ago when we were parked downtown. My mom lost her card, and they were like, okay, we'll send you a bill in the mail and you could pay it later or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm gonna try that. Let me refresh my memory from 10 years ago on this probably outdated system. Yeah. So I pushed the button, and the guys are like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, hey, I thought it was free parking downtown. I was like, I don't have any money on me. And the guy just straight up goes, then I guess you're not leaving the parking garage. And I was like, fuck. I was like, there's no way that you can like bill me or I could pay it later. I was like, I have no cash. And he's like, you're going to have to come up with money then. And he hung up the intercom on me.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, fuck. And there was a line of cars behind me. And I was like, I can't pay to get out. I have to park. And then everyone's like, oh. So this whole line of cars has to back up. And I am backing up, and I have to keep backing up for a long time to find an open parking spot.
Oh my God.
And I was like, son of a bitch. So I was already mad. So this was the lowest point of my life.
Yeah,
is because I was in school.
Sounds horrible.
Well, it gets worse. So I'm scared to ask my parents for more money. Because mom was like, I already gave you 25. Here's 15. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
I'm scared to ask my parents. My buddy doesn't have any money whatsoever.
Meanwhile, he didn't pay anything?
He didn't pay anything. It was all me.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I'm on. So then my big idea is like, we're gonna have to ask people for money on the street. So we fucking panhandled for 5 minutes.
No fucking way.
For 5 minutes, we're standing out, and I just go, does anyone have like $5 so I could pay for parking? No one's paid attention to it. So like I said, 5 minutes, and we're like, yeah, this is going nowhere. Like, this is pathetic. So we get in the car, and we're sitting in the car. And then, like, the car is running, and I'm like, fuck, I need gas, too. So I was like, so I have to call my parents. So I call my dad. I'm like, Dad, look, Mom's already gotten mad at me. I was like, but I need more money. I was like, I didn't know you had to pay for parking downtown, this, and that. So my dad, screaming at me, you need to be more responsible with your money, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So then he transferred me $20. Now the pay for parking is $18. It's gone up.
Yeah, because you've been there long.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, shit. And I only have $2 left in my account now to put gas in my car, which is not going to give me anything. So I'm like, son of a bitch. And this was an old little Saturn. So I'm flying down the highway, and the gas tank is going empty.
Was it a...
It was automatic,
yeah.
But it had terrible gas mileage.
Yeah.
So now we're about to break down in the middle of the freeway. I pull over to a gas station. Dad.
Did you have AAA?
No. Well, I don't know. My parents didn't. This was when I was 18.
You had insurance though, right?
Yeah, but they don't tell me that stuff.
Probably had AAA.
No, we've had Geico for auto insurance.
Well, AAA is just roadside assistance that usually comes with.
Well, no, because I have Geico now. Geico uses their own vendor. They don't use AAA.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know about this kind of thing.
Right,
like, I'm 18.
right, yeah.
So I call my dad. Dad,
I
I was like, Dad, I need more money. Again?
Oh, man.
So He's transferring more money. I put all the money into gas. I'm telling my buddy, I was like, dude, I'm fed up with this shit. I'm tired of not having money.
You need to put shit in next time I hang out with you. Get some money.
He doesn't have a job either. And so I was like, man, this fucking sucks. And I was like, dude, we're gonna have to go back to my house. You're gonna have to walk home. I'm sorry, dude. And I was like, but he lives across the street, like in the neighborhood across the street from my parents.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you're gonna have to walk home, dude. I was like, because I can't keep asking for gas. He's like, no, you're fine. He knows I've had a tough night.
Yeah.
He goes, you're good. I was like, all right. So I get home, and so I'm thinking in my head, man, I already know what I'm doing. So I walk to my parents' bedroom. My dad's like, you need to be more fucking responsible with your money. I'm just getting ripped
You just take
into.
it. Yes, sir.
And I'm just like, and I was like, you know what, Dad? I was like, I'm done. I'm done asking you guys for money. I was like, school is the worst fucking thing in the world. And my parents are looking at me, and I was like, this sucks, Dad. I was like, since I've been 16, I've been making my own money, paying my own bills. I hate the fact that you guys are paying my phone bill, paying for gas. I was like, this is embarrassing. I've had a terrible night, and it's all because of fucking school, Dad. I was like, you don't have a degree. I was like, and you're making tons of money. I was like, Mom's the only one that has a degree. I was like, degrees don't get you shit. And he was like, you're right. And I was like, so after this semester, Dad, when I finish this, spring semester, I'm quitting school. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your money.
Why didn't you finish then?
Well, because I was in theater, so I needed to be enrolled.
Oh, sure.
So I was like, so after this semester, I'm done. And my dad was like, is that your... Because my mom's all like, well, no, it's just because it's a lot of money. We have a lot of bills, too. And this is that. My dad just, kind of waves her to shut up, whatever. And he goes, is that your decision? I was like, yes, all shaky. He goes, is that your decision as a man? He goes, you're 18 years old. Is that your decision as a man? I was like, yes. I was like, after this semester, I'm probably going to go back to Walmart. He's like, okay. And he goes, but make this semester count. I didn't make it count. And he goes, well, make this semester count, because he goes, if you're going to do this, you better do it right. I was like, yeah. So I barely finished the semester, went back to Walmart, and then since then, I've been working ever since.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because...
Well, and that's a testament again to us millennials who still know the worth of money, even though if they're the experiences there, luckily you didn't get to the point where they were evicting you when you're 30.
Yeah.
You figured this out way beforehand to not be
I moved out when I was 19.
Yeah.
I know that's what the original point of everything was, but So I moved out at 19, and my parents were all for it. They were like, yeah, get the fuck out. And I was like, all right.
So to be honest, I was going to bring up when you first started, I was going to say the worst part of the story is that those girls wanted to fuck you guys and y'all just walked away. But actually, it got way worse. So it was way worse.
Fucking was not on my mind.
It would have been even worse if you went out with them and they paid your cover, but your card declined with drinks or something like that. It was way worse than that.
It's so, and trust me, the only thing on my mind was like, fuck, I'm so broke. Like, how am I gonna get through this day? So if they were to offer sex, it'd be like, can you pay me?
Right, right.
Yeah, but no, it was nothing like that. In fact, I don't even think, I wasn't even talking to anyone because I was so broke. Like, I was just like, it's not even worth it. But yeah, that was...
I still feel... So, just on the... my truth of school, because I'm such an advocate for education in school, too, but I have had my ups and downs, too, and this is not invalidating or anything. I'm not trying to say, like, this is how it should have worked.
You're good, yeah.
But when I first... I went to school right after high school, too, and I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I've changed majors like 1,000 times. Like, I was a music major because I loved band. I wanted to be a band teacher. But I had my grandfather, who was a principal, was like, you'll never fucking make money if you're a teacher, right? So that was always in my head, and I liked the math. And anyways, I'm digressing. That's not the point of my story. When I first started going, though, I got kicked out of my grandparents' prom night. Because, and it was funny because Mrs. Teach wasn't even... We went to prom together. We went to both prom. I went to 2 proms with her, but the last prom, I think it was my prom, because we were both seniors. She had to be home at a certain time. Parents were Asian, right? She had to be home. I had to be home too, though. But what I did was, I had dropped her off, and I told her, she knew I was like, I'm going out. I was like, it's prom night, it's senior year, like, I'm not going back home. And I tried to get her to stay with me too, but she was like, no, I'm not.
I need to go home.
I'm not. I was like, I'm going to test the boundaries, though. And I stayed out, and I just remember my grandfather calling me like at 2 a.m. or something. Because I went home, but I snuck out, and I took their car. You know, so obviously they fucking figured it out at 2 a.m. And he just called me like, "Get the fuck home." And I said, "Grandpa, I'm sorry, I'm not coming home." And I hung up. Oh, I can't believe I'm still alive. Like,
right.
But I stayed all night. I stayed at my friend's place, and I went home the next morning, and my grandfather was on the couch in his sunroom. They have a sunroom. And my grandmother was just like, didn't even like look at me. She was just like, "Go talk to your grandfather." I think she was sad too, because my grandfather was like, "You need to move out." Like, he was like, "I got blood pressure issues." He goes, "I would have kicked your ass. I would be kicking your ass right now, but my heart might explode." So,
right.
He's like, "You gotta go." So I got kicked out, and that's, he said, finish out the year. I finished out my year of high school, you know, and graduated, and I had to move with my mom. And moving in with my mom, I had to pay bills, because my mom was recently more or less divorced, because they divorced like my sophomore year. So I had to pay half the rent, blah, blah, blah. But I got a job working barbecue, Dickie's Barbecue, actually. I don't know if you ever had Dickie's
Yeah,
Barbecue?
I've had it.
I don't know if they're around anymore.
There's one over on 151 and not 151, 410 over by the old Walmart I used to work at.
410 and
151.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's one right there. There's one over there off 410 by North Park Mall.
Yeah. I worked at that
North Star,
one for
not
a little
North Park.
bit. Yeah, North Star.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I went to school too though, and it was really more because I think Mrs. Teach kind of pushed me for it too. But what also helped was Mrs. Teach. She would help me pay some bills too though. It was a 2 kind of person outcome at that time too. So she would work a little bit, and I worked mostly. But I've always had a full fucking schedule where it's just, I mean, ever since 18. I mean, I've been working since 15, but ever since 18 too, I've always taken full hours, 12-hour classes, you know, full time, and I've always worked at least 30 hours, if not 40. There were some times where I worked 2 fucking jobs. I quit school for a year at one point. I tried to learn HVAC, air conditioning and heating. That was god awful. Like, I fucking hated it. I would have to climb up into fucking, on the roof, and it was fucking hot, and what are they called in the attics? It'd be like 120 degrees in there, and it would take 5 hours sometimes because it's you think like, oh, just set it up, and it's like, it's not working. Okay, redo fucking everything. That's when I realized I wanted to go back to school. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I couldn't do it. And I'm still doing it though. Actually, it's been a very long process. So, but I've been able to keep up with it though. But it's always been a 2-person income too, which I think is different maybe because right out of high school I still was with Mrs. Teach, and she, when I got my first apartment, even at 19, she would help out sometimes. I remember she didn't really work too much because she bagged at. She was a bagger at the commissary on base. Y'all can go. Did you ever shop there?
I've shopped at the commissary a few times with my dad actually doesn't have a military ID anymore. It was with my grandma because that's where my grandma gets her groceries, is the commissary. So I've been with her. Yeah, so baggers get tips there, and it's but depending on the day and blah blah blah. You don't really make this and that, but I remember her helping me out a lot around that time too. It was always like if I was short, but I mean I remember days where me and Mrs. Teach would, and we were both in school. There was a lot of times she wasn't even working, just in school, but I was working like 2 jobs or something, plus I would take like 2 classes maybe, but we would have like $2 in the bank account. We've had a joint bank account for like 5 years or something like plus. We'd have like $2, so we'd go to one. And we had our apartment. We stayed in our little 1-bedroom apartment. And we'd have to go and buy, ramen 17 cents. So you got and we'd have to like mathematically like, okay, we could buy like at least 6 without going over, something like that. Which is a struggle too. So all I'm saying though is that it's not by any means easier or better or even whatever, but it is also doable too if you want to. It's possible. It's possible. Like, trust me. Like, I'm not saying.
But school's not for everyone. I don't think it is either. I don't adhere to that,
because that was the thing. It wasn't a matter of like, oh, this is too hard, this is overwhelming. I was doing good. I was passing tests. I was just like, I'm taking fucking high school courses in college.
Yeah.
Like, this is just grade 13.
It's a lot of bullshit.
And I was going to Northwest Vista. The only cool thing, the only classes I really enjoyed going to was at Palo Alto, because I was taking classes at both, because I registered kind of late, because I was still on the fence if I wanted to do college or not. So I was like, okay. So I was having to do both. I was having so much fun at Palo Alto, because it was the drive, the fact I'm a college student, like I'm traveling to school and this and that, and I was doing Vista, which is just Stevens, grade 13. Like, there were so many people from Stevens High School, because it's right there. And it just got so, like, oh, I'm seeing the same horrors that I saw in high school, like, so boring. And then I'm in class, like, and then, because I was doing theater, and I felt more, like, of an asset to the theater production company in college than I ever did in high school.
That's a good thing for that too, because there's an outlet that you can use. Whereas without being in school, it's hard to find those.
Exactly. So it's like I was in theater, I was performing, had the time of my life, you know, and it was awesome. It was really cool, but it was just like I'm learning shit that I already know. My history, the whole history class, my first semester in college, I knew fucking everything. The only thing is you would have to. Literally, the book, the teacher, and the professor's like, you see the chapter in the book? Type it down on a notepad and email it to me. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid! Yeah. Like, why do I have to just copy a book? Read the fucking book! Like, oh my god, like...
I'm 26 years old. I still have to go to these fucking education classes. I'm gonna have to do it next semester, too, where we have to do icebreakers, fucking first day of class, where it's, you know, it's anywhere from... State your name and a word that it starts with the same letter that it describes you as a person, and memorize. You know, we get in a circle and this is Jacob. He's joyful. This is Eric. He's energetic. This is
right,
and all the way to anywhere from that to fucking give 2 lies and a fucking truth.
Tell us an interesting
or 2
fact.
truths and a lie, and I'm just like. I'm like, just give me a classroom so I can teach math, because I'm not gonna do any of this shit, and this is a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of their time. But I'm very docile inside, where I'm like, oh, I just gotta do it. I'm just like, yeah, just fucking do it.
Fuck it. I'll just do it.
But it's rough. Yeah, it sucks. It fucking sucks. And certain people can get by it and write it better than others. And a lot of times it doesn't even fucking matter. My dad says too, because he has a master's, but it's in human resources, and he always ends up working under someone that doesn't even have, even if, at least not a master's. I remember when he had a bachelor's, he was working under someone that didn't have bachelor's. He has a master's, he's always working for bachelorettes. He's like, he has a higher degree, but he still has to work under someone that's just, paid their dues longer. So that's how that works. I mean, my thing was, this was the easiest route for me.
Right.
My thing too was like, even now, like, I'm in between class, I'm in summer, so, but I still have, like, I'm so used to school. I've been in school I've been in, college classes for like a fucking decade. I should be a doctor, but I'm so used to having that kind of pressure all the time. So like, even now, like, I have nothing to do. I'm just like, what am I forgetting? Like, I feel like
that's how Leslie is right now. Yeah. Being out of school, she's like. She's not used to having so much free time.
Yeah.
And that honestly scares me. I don't like to see how much stress people go through with exams. I'm like, it's a fucking test.
It's the same. It honestly is the same. It's just a different color.
I'm like, man, like, I feel so bad for Leslie, because she stresses out to the point of tears, and she's like, oh, I don't even know if I need to do this anymore. And I'm like, babe, I was like, it's questions on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I was like, you only let it control you if you give it that power to control you. Okay. You know the shit. It's just the fact that it's that test anxiety, that shit. Oh my god, this is what's going to do it.
It's a defense mechanism too. I feel like I think a lot. Mrs. Teach gets like that too, where she bugs out on it. It's like, I think it's like you're doing it because you're making it to more than it is. It's like you either know it or you don't. It's like a bomb squad. Their mentality in the bomb squad is, I don't worry, because either I disarm the bomb and I'm good, or I don't and it's not my problem anymore. So that's how I think about like tests, where it's like, I either know it and I pass, or I don't, and then I failed it, so it's done. I don't have to,
right.
Until I have to take it again.
It's over.
I'll just it's over, at least for the semester. Like,
that's how I always felt about tests. I would be like, well, this sounds right. Yeah, I'm going with it. And would it be right? Yeah, it would be right. Because
or not.
I trusted my instinct.
Yeah.
No, I was the one guy, mostly in high school, because there wasn't a lot of space to do it on college stuff. But in high school, if I didn't know a question, I would write in the open spot, I don't know this. And I would leave it blank. I would get it wrong.
Yeah.
But then that way the teacher would be like, well, what don't you get? This.
I went to a test so high on pills, Algebra 2 test in junior year one time. All I did was circle in all the I's and the D's, like all the little spaces.
You colored
the
them
letters. Like all like like the E has like that space. I would fill it like the D and like A's. Any little. That's all I did. I just went in. I just bubbled in every fucking. I didn't take the test at all. Just all the letters. And the teacher was just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" She was like, "You really didn't know anything on this test?" I was like, "Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care." Yeah, so, different strokes for different folks. It all,
Different strokes? Oh, I like the sound of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking of strokes.
Speaking of strokes.
Here's a segue the teacher's going to give you.
Oh.
So, apparently, you know how, hundreds of kids are dying by, guns and shootings and all that, right?
Yeah.
Well, we know the cause of it now because a lawmaker in Tennessee actually gave it to us, is letting us know that it's from pornography. That's the real reason, apparently, of what we are doing as a society that's killing all the children. That's what mass shootings at the schools are. We're looking at pornography too much. In her quote, it says... why do we see kids being so violent? What's out there? What makes them do that? Pornography. It's available on the shelf when you walk in the grocery store. Yeah, you have to reach up to get it, but there's pornography there. All this is available without parental guidance. I think the big part of the root cause of school shootings is pornography.
Oh, they're shooting all right.
Yeah. She says the problem is not guns, it's hearts without... I just got that. Amen. She says the problem is not guns, it's hearts without God. The answer to gun violence is not to take away guns. The answer is to strengthen the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. The problem is not guns, it's hearts without God.
I'll tell you one thing, bitch. There is no God in my heart.
Oh my God.
Whatsoever. And I've never felt the urge to shoot anybody or hurt anyone without probable cause.
I feel like I am the farthest from someone with the God complex. And I would consider myself kind of quasi-religious. I don't even really feel like... It was more philosophy for me than religious. And even that aspect, I'm going to go shoot fucking people, and I masturbate daily. And I don't have God in my heart for a long time.
Right. That's the thing. I don't get it. People try to make up every excuse in the book for why people shoot people or why people have these mass shootings, except for the fucking gun.
You know what I fucking hate is politicians coming out with such obvious and such out there religious fucking ties where our literal fucking Constitution and Declaration tells us no church and state. No church and state. No church and state. One more time.
You're saying no church and state.
One more time for three on the back.
All right.
No church and state.
You gotta say it like this. No church and state.
Yeah, and maybe, like people that think that you can teach a Mexican immigrant English if you say it louder and slower. No church and state.
Okay.
Yeah, so now it's very clear. It's obvious that, and the thing is, they get away with it. People fucking love it. That's what really pisses me off. And these nationalists, fucking white nationalists, which is basically a Nazi, they go, yeah, fuck yeah, God's in the hearts. That's what these fucking kids need. We need to bring prayer back into school and blah blah. What is it? Their thing is, why did God let this happen? Are you mad that God let this happen? Well, you took him out of the schools. Okay, so that's how vengeful this piece of shit God is. I hope we don't have a lot of religious people listening because they might not like this. But I'm not religious in that sense, and especially not Christian. But for politicians, think what you want to think. If you're a person and you believe, you're just a citizen, civilian, you think prayer and God should be in school, whatever. To be honest, yeah, I think meditation should be in school myself. That's part of my thing, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm going to practice it. My kid might practice it if they want to. I don't really give a shit. I think it would be beneficial. If you think that way too, like, hey, prayer might help, blah, 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 whatever. You don't really have a say in anything, though, so, okay. But when politicians that really have a fucking say in things, the way things work, are saying this and people are advocating for them, it's complete bullshit. It's complete opposite, too, because they're not supposed to. They literally are not supposed to say. They're literally saying, I am religious, put God in our government, in our schools, and the Constitution literally says, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Like, don't do
so
that.
Dumb.
Like,
God bless. It's these fucking people, man.
I don't get it. I really don't.
Pornography is the reason why. So you watch two girls go down on each other, 69 each other, and fucking with a strap on.
It's funny because she just kind of throws it out there. It doesn't really
pornography. Yeah, because there was so many times in high school I was all like, oh, these two chicks licking clits. Like, oh, I want to go get a Glock and go shoot up my school. Yeah. Thanks, porn.
Now, the whole violent video game thing is one thing.
Oh, which okay. So, Steam, if you're familiar with Steam, it's this online website that kind of produces indie games to put them out there.
Lesbian porn.
Oh, yeah, right. Steamy. Yeah, right. So apparently there's a new game that's scheduled to come out on Steam at the time of this recording, on June 6th. It's called Active Shooter. And
they give us a lot of time there to upload this video.
Yeah. So podcast. Right. So the premise of the game is you can either play the role of the school shooter, and your objective is to go in and kill as many students as possible before you get caught by the SWAT team. Or you can be the SWAT team and save the kids as fast as you can and take out the school shooter without as many casualties as possible.
As much as I think this is a fucked up game, I am not one to say that you shouldn't be able to
It's no different than any of these war games.
Yeah, I don't...
Anything like Call of Duty and Battlefield and all that. In GTA, Grand Theft Auto, where you get to kill hookers for fun.
Right. So I'm not against that either. I don't play games anyways, but I personally wouldn't find satisfaction doing that. That's just me as a person. I don't really take it away from someone if they want to do that, because it's a fantasy, and you can do whatever the fuck you want fantasy-wise. Just sort of do it in real life. Maybe this is a good outlet for people to have this.
That could be possibly
true. Get it out on the video game. I don't think... I don't know, there's a psychology thing where it's like the fantasy grows, so like if you give it a little bit, it keeps growing, you gotta do it in real life. I don't really subscribe to that. I don't think that's how that works, because if that was the case, I'd be doing a lot of freaky, weird sex stuff. And I'm not. So
right. No, yeah, that whole violent video game thing, and this is me and a lot of... Because I wouldn't call myself a gamer anymore. I just got put off. Like, there's too many things that come out. There's too many things you got to keep up to date with. I've just lost track of it. But... Because one, this active shooter game...
That's that millennial laziness.
Right. Fuck. So, it's like... Or I'm just getting fucking old and I don't understand the lingo anymore. Yeah. But one, this active shooter game is going to be a PC game. You have to play it on the computer. I'm not a big PC
guy.
Those
are the worst ones. Those are ones that shoot up fucking schools.
Right?
The PC kids.
First person shooter. And the graphics look terrible in this active shooter game anyway. So it doesn't look like a modern game. It looks like some cheesy
like Doom?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm like, I don't know. But I've played so many violent video games. I've watched so much stuff. I listen to the most grotesque music. And I've never felt the need to be violent to anybody. I've played Mortal Kombat. I've never wanted to rip someone's spine out from their mouth, because one, it's physically impossible to do. Two, it's just, I wouldn't have the strength to do that. Three, I just don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Is that the third point? That's not the first point.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to do that. That's my final point. That's the least important part of that.
Really, but, you can't, but
if I could, would I? You're goddamn right. No, and same thing with shooter games. It's fun. Yeah, to play video games. Get some. Fuck them up.
There's a phone sniper game where you take out... Have you played that?
I played that, yeah.
Black, where it's just like the... You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the stick man or whatever.
Exactly, yeah, I've seen it.
It's fucking fun, too. That's pretty sick, too, though, because you're a sniper. Who knows what the fuck they're doing? They're just, like, random civilian-looking people, too. Like, you're like, doo-doo-doo, like, walking in business, like, Anyways.
Yeah, pornography is not the cause of school shootings. Having God in your heart does nothing.
If anything, masturbate more, because that probably takes out a lot more tension.
Man, when I jerk off, I fucking want to sleep.
So you don't want to do anything.
And there's peace in the world for that brief 2 seconds I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Everything makes sense. You kind of hate yourself after, but
yeah. Like, when you watch the porn and you're like, God bless. What was I watching? I was watching piss porn. What the hell?
I posted that, one of those.
Yeah, you did. It was great. It embodies every man's and even women's thinking too.
Yeah.
You know, you
Shout
watch
out to
it.
Jessie. She knows that's true. Apparently.
So it's like, man, yeah. So it's like.
So I'm afraid to like the likes now because I'm afraid my real Facebook is
really?
gonna like it. So just know I liked that.
He likes it. He likes it. He likes it.
Yeah. Because at one time I messaged on your mom's and I thought it was the
page, but it was you.
Mine. Yeah. So
your mom's sort of like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right. Telling me what my son and the teach does.
Right. Oh man. Again, sorry mom if you do listen. I still don't know. She reacts to a lot of the pictures and stuff that we post.
Yeah, she does.
Which is a little bit racy at times. So I'm kind of like, she's laughing at it. I wonder if she laughs if she listens. But sorry mom.
Yeah.
I was a very gross teenager, like most other teenage boys were, so very sorry.
See, it is mortifying for me to think of my mother or father listening to this. I just can't even.
So you touch your wiener?
Well, I've talked a lot of shit about them too, so
yeah.
That's my thing too. Is like, that's gonna be a talk if they ever listen to all of them. Like, there's so many there that it's kind of peppered in there. I'm like, you won't get through it. Like. Only people that don't know me really like this. I feel like sometimes I want to put it on and like, Miss Teacher will listen to this because she hears this all the fucking time. So,
right.
Like, shut up. Like,
and that's all. I don't like. I think Leslie tunes in just to be nice every now and then, but I think she kind of tones out like maybe 5-10 minutes in. She's just like, okay, like because she hears all my stories before I tell them with you, you know, because we live together. So she hears my thoughts on these random stories that pop up. She hears everything that I have to say. So it's like reiterating it and then listening to a guy that agrees with me too. She's like, it's just David and the Teach. Like,
yeah,
it's like if they were in the living room. Yeah, it's like, fuck these guys. Like, who gives a fuck?
I think Mrs. Teach got excited for a little bit because there was a little insight into more stuff, but then she realized we're just drunk and talking shit. So
talking about her wieners.
No insight. There's no fucking
insight.
Logic here or philosophical epiphanies. We're just talking shit.
There's not. Ben, so we've gone a whole hour and 6 minutes straight.
Oh, wow.
At this point. You don't need a break or nothing?
I do, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man. All right. So we're going to do a little smoke break.
You're the jerk of the week. You're a jerk and it's your week. You really outdid yourself like a crazy super jerk. You're probably a big jerk every week, but this week you're the jerk of the week.
Oh my god, so amazing. I love it. Alrighty. So for a change, I finally have one, and Teach doesn't. So Teach had a very pleasant week, apparently. So I have multiple, and I'm two of them. So one of them's funny, and one of them actually did fuck up. So I'm going to get into that one. So the first one is the comical one. It's courtesy of Abel. Abel said I'm the jerk of the week because my tissues that are at my desk, I have... So you know how Kleenex, the name brand Kleenex, they have like the Vicks Vapor Rub tissues? Where it has like the menthol built into it? So I discovered a new type of Kleenex that I bought that I thought was the menthol ones, or the Vicks Vapor Rub ones, but ended up being ones called Cool Touch tissues. And they're cold tissues. They're cold. So you put it up to your face, it's cold.
Got like menthol in it or something?
No menthol, it's just cold.
How is it cold?
I tried reading the box because you know how the Vicks one, it tells you how they do it or whatever. There's no definition, there's no reasoning behind why these tissues are cold. But the tissues are just cold. And, you know, once them use them, they warm up. Like, okay, yeah, because I guess it's supposed to, like, soothe the sore nose or whatever. But it's like, it doesn't help you breathe. It doesn't help anything. It's just supposed to be soft touch. But it's not like the lotion ones where it has lotion built into it. It's just cold. They're just cold tissues. And they're always cold.
Okay.
Yeah, so he apparently grabbed a tissue off my desk. And he, like, I guess he went to use it or something. But got so amazed by it that his urge to blow his nose or something, I don't know. I just know he came out of a meeting and his whole team, he showed his whole team, and his whole team was like, you have weird tissues, man. And he goes, it's weird. I don't like it. He goes, you're my jerk of the week, man. He goes, fuck you and your tissues. I was like, well, damn, I'm sorry. But,
I really want to try these tissues, though.
Dude, they're awesome. I love them.
Sorry. Interlude.
Yeah, so those tissues apparently fucked him up. So, yeah, so I'm jerk of the week for that. Second jerk of the week, to me, that goes to me. So this past Sunday, because this past weekend was Memorial Day weekend, 3-day weekend. On Sunday, we went to SeaWorld in Aquatica, Leslie and I, with our friend Sister Sanana. And we're waiting in line to get into Aquatica, because that's the part of the park that always gets, filled up the fastest. So we're in line for Aquatica. They finally are opening the gates. We're inching closer and closer and closer. We have all four of us have season passes, so we're all good, right? We're in line to get in. And looking back, I'm like, yeah, it was kind of an asshole move on my part, but at the same time, the guy that behind me had multiple kids, and they kept bumping into me. All his kids kept, slapping their stupid map against my legs. They kept, stepping on my ankle. They were just being rowdy, and it was pissing me off. So, and mind you, the guy spoke perfect English. I don't think it's anything like that. Because they were like, oh, what if he doesn't speak English? You're so rude, and this and that, da-da-da. And I'm like, no, fuck this guy. He's stupid. So we're inching closer and closer in line. Then Aquatica has its own separate ticket booth that you can buy tickets for Aquatica inside of SeaWorld. Let's say you get to SeaWorld and maybe you're on the fence about Aquatica, but you just buy tickets for SeaWorld and you're like, you know what, I want to take a swim, I want to go in the water park. Separate area to buy tickets for Aquatica. So we're inching closer and closer, and I have a big sign that says guest services and tickets. The guy goes, hey, is that where you buy tickets for Aquatica? Mind you, this fool's been waiting in line for an hour like the rest of us to get into this fucking park. He doesn't have tickets to get in this fucking park. Hey, do you think they sell tickets right here? So I turn to him. I look him dead in his eyes. Well, I'm wearing sunglasses, so you can't see the eye contact. But I look him dead in his eyes. I look at the sign. Well, actually, it's like this. So I went like this to this. And I said, I presume so, seeing how the sign says tickets. And he goes, oh, okay. And he goes, are you in line because you have season passes or something? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in line because I'm prepared to go into Aquatica. Guy just goes, okay. And the girls, Leslie and Anna, are looking at me like, man, you're such an asshole.
Kinda.
And I'm like, don't ask me fucking questions, dude. Read the fucking sign. He didn't have an accent. He spoke English fine. He looked like a Mexican man. I don't think it's an English barrier, because that's sort of like, man, what if he was foreign and this and that? I'm like, no. It says tickets. And why would I wait in line all the way to get up to the front and just go, hey, you know what? I don't have a ticket. Can I get in? I'm not going to waste my fucking time waiting in a line to go into a park you need a separate ticket for. So I was like, man, fuck this guy.
So my only thing is, I feel like I have, this is a made-up term, but I have line anxiety. The line thing. Especially when you go to events, different events always have fucking so many different lines for different fucking things, and you never fucking know what it is, right? Mm-hmm. So even with the sign, blah blah blah, because sometimes you go to the sign says tickets, right? Or what did it say?
It said guest services and tickets.
Guest services and tickets. So, I've had experiences where, say I'm going to some event, totally different, whatever, but say the same line goes, guest services and tickets. And I'll go to and go, hey, I bought my tickets already. Where do I go to get in? They go, guest services and tickets. They take tickets here, right? Okay, it's like, well, fuck, my bad. Okay, sit in the line. Okay, fine. Whereas the other time, there's been other times where I've been, they go, I have the tickets. They're like, well, this is to buy guest services and tickets. You have a ticket. Go to this line. You never fucking know because everything's fucking different.
Well, in Aquatica, it's plain and simple. Tickets, entrance. Line to get in. They have it all roped off. Line to enter Aquatica here with giant arrows.
Also, everything is established there too. See, the things we do are a lot of the festival things. They just kind of pop up randomly, and it's all they're all volunteers or whatever. So it's all kind of they're building the plane as they fly it. So I've had we went to the Japanese festival one time, this last time, and we were where do we buy food tickets, right? Because we already bought our tickets, and you're like, oh, you can go right in. You have your tickets. We're like, okay, I want to buy food though. So where do we buy food tickets? Like, oh, you want food tickets? Well, you can only buy food tickets where they buy tickets, but there's a line. You have to wait. You have to wait for all the people that are buying tickets also, like just to get in.
To get in.
But that's where you buy your food tickets too. So that's only one line to buy the food tickets. Or it's like, that sucks. So
right.
I get line anxiety because of that, because it's like, I don't know where to go. Even though it says like tickets, was like, what kind of tickets? Right. Or what's the difference, of tickets to buy? So
right, but that's a whole different
scenario. So you're a jerk, David.
Yeah, I'm a jerk. So for that, I'm a jerk. But I still hold true. And then when I told my buddy, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, why would he ask you? Tickets are right here."
Not this buddy.
Yeah, right. Not this guy. So I'm the jerk of the week for that, but I'm sticking to it.
Sure.
So whatever. So my actual jerk of the week, the jerk of the week that I have elected, who is the jerk of the week, and I stand by this. Teach. You jinxed me with bad upstairs neighbors. I've been doing so good my whole time as a tenant, as a renter, until now. So Teach on the episode, earlier episodes, has expressed his disdain for his upstairs neighbors. Mm-hmm. I've never had any problems until now. So about a month or so ago, a gentleman moved upstairs who I guess he walks around with cylinder blocks for sandals. Just stomps over everything, drops everything all the time, which Teach to tell me, he goes, hey, you know what, but that's probably something that sounds not that bad to him, but to you it echoes. Probably something that doesn't sound bad to you echoes for your, downstairs neighbors. I'm like, hey, you know what, you're right. But no, this guy is very fucking loud, and it solidifies from yesterday. So yesterday is Memorial Day, around 6 o'clock in the evening or so, loud-ass country music starts playing. Just loud. And he's playing it on the balcony because our living room is right next to the balcony. Mm-hmm. And, it's only wood balcony. It's not like it's a sound barrier. Yeah. So it's very, very overpowering to what we're watching on TV. And I hate country music, so I'm annoyed. Then I hear something pound on our balcony, on our patio area. And Bulma starts to cry.
Of course.
So something hit Bulma.
Oh.
My puppy. So I went, what the fuck? Because I was like, what the hell? We had her outside so she could eat her food, use the bathroom or whatever. A bunch of ice hit her. So I'm like, okay, they're not huge chunks of ice.
Oh, I see.
So I was like, okay. But she was sleeping by the edge of the balcony in the shade, and ice hit her. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, okay, it's time to come in. So Bulma's inside with us, da-da-da-da-da-da. We're eating dinner. And game starts. She's scratching to go back outside. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll let her outside and I'm watching the game. So about halftime, it gets close to halftime. Again, I hear somebody. The music stopped at this point, but I just hear a bunch of like.
Whoa.
Yeah, shaking his drink around. And I'm like, man, what the fuck, man? And I don't know, something just told me, look outside. Look outside. Look outside. There's a bunch of vomit on my fucking patio. On like the little wooden part of the patio. And I'm like, and I say out loud on my balcony, what the fuck? Leslie's in the bedroom getting ready for bed. I bring Bulma in because she's about to eat the puke.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, what the fuck? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like I'm fucking, my blood pressure, my heart exploded. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God. And Leslie's like, what? I was like, somebody puked on her fucking balcony. And I'm still outside on the balcony with the door, sliding door open. There's people in the dog park. They're like, son of a bitch. And it's gross. It's chunky. It's vomit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fucking assholes upstairs just vomiting on our fucking patio. And I'm fucking livid because this guy's been pissed because there's been a bunch of cigarette butts. There's been the beer caps all over our balcony. I caught Bulma about to eat a cigarette butt one time, and I was like, fuck. So it's been pissing me off, and with them being loud, it's been pissing me off. But yeah, with vomit, that's a completely different story. That's gross.
Yeah.
So I went and I put on my shoes. I grabbed my hat.
Shit.
I was like, I'm going. Leslie was like, babe. I was like, I'll take a deep breath. It took me 10 minutes to catch my breath.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I was getting ready to grab the baseball bat. I was getting ready and to steal a baseball bat. I was ready to fucking assault these motherfuckers because I was pissed.
Yeah.
So I took 10 minutes to calm down. If I was wearing my Apple Watch, I'm like, it would have fucking blew up because of how fast my heart rate was going.
Yeah.
Leslie's like, babe. I'm like, no, I'm going to go up there. I'm just going to say, hey, this is disgusting. Yeah, what's going on? Because this is gross. Like, I was like, I'm fine. I know
you have a bathroom because I have one too.
Yeah.
So but
my hands are still shaking. My leg is shaking because I'm fucking furious.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've been itching to fight someone, so I was like, here we go. Yeah. Like, I just have this built up aggression that, like, sex just can't handle anymore. Like, I need to fucking put my hands on someone. So, I go upstairs. I knock lightly. I was about to fucking pa. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I hear people inside.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, maybe they're collecting themselves.
I thought you were the police.
Whatever. So I'm still catching my breath because I was kind of pounding up the stairs like.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
So I'm catching my breath. Yeah. So I'm catching my breath. I hear the muttering stops. I hear no movement. I'm not leaving. I'm getting a fucking answer tonight.
Yeah.
I knock a little bit louder, but nothing rude or assholey. Fuck. Okay. All right. Just shut up. Open the door. Some fucking hick-looking motherfucker. Fucking trucker hat with the fish hook in his hat, smoking a cigarette in cowboy boots. Who wears cowboy boots inside? But whatever. And he goes, hello? I was like, yes, my name is David Clare. Why I had to say my full name, I don't know.
No, that's the way you present yourself.
Yeah, I was like, hello, my name is David Clare. I was like, I'm your downstairs neighbor.
That's like a legitimate thing, though. Like, you have agreements, you give your full name.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm like, because, one, I know who you are now.
Yeah.
So if you fuck me over again, hands are being thrown. But anyway, so I'm like, my name is David Clare. I'm your downstairs neighbor. I was like, look, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, honestly, from you. I was like, there's a lot of cigarette butts. There's Swisher Sweet Wraps that land on my balcony. I was like, and there's a lot of beer caps. I don't drink the same beer you drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. Neither does my fiance. And we don't smoke weed.
And we don't puke.
No, he's like, what? I was like, look, I know what Swishers are used for. I was like, so just stop. And I was just like, but I was like, this is where I draw the line. There's vomit on my balcony. And then he has a friend, and I kind of look inside because his dog almost ran outside. And I kind of look inside to stop the dog too. There's a guy that's on the couch all fucked up. And he goes, man, I am so sorry. He goes, I told him, my friend, he just got kicked out of his house, and he's hanging out with me. I'm taking him to the airport tomorrow. He got really drunk. He got really ahead of himself. And the guy's all, I'm fucked up, man. I'm so sorry, man. And like, he's talking, and both of them, I was like, Lulu, I don't care. I was like, I've 23 myself. I've been drunk. I've been the one throwing up over balconies, and I've been the one to console people throwing up over balconies. I was like, but my aim is perfect. And I was like, I don't care that you guys got messed up. That's between you and him, but that's disgusting. I was like, it needs to be cleaned. He goes, yeah, man, I'll get right on that, man. I'll do it right. And I was like, yeah, we're going right now. I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. So he closes the door, walks in, take him in, give him paper towels, wipes it down, and I was like, all right. And he's trying to talk to me, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to fucking talk to you. So walk him back upstairs. Dude, again, I'm so sorry. My name is Gabriel, man. He goes, like I said, my friend, I was like, look, I don't care. I'm 23 myself. I know how guys are, especially living by yourselves. It's so cool to party and listen to loud music. And he's getting all, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, it's whatever. It's a 3-day weekend. I was like, but look, I'd rather talk to you myself instead of just complain and have the apartments come and confront you because that's a dick move to do.
Yeah.
I was like, but if that happens again, I won't hesitate to file a report. I was like, that's disgusting. And his friend's still, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm going to Florida tomorrow. I'm so fucked up. And I just looked at him and I was like, you need to control your friend? I was like, make sure that whatever happens, you guys stay safe. I was like, but if I have another problem, I'm coming back up here. And the guy was like, okay, man, okay, I'm so sorry. And I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the most intimidating guy. But I was dead fucking serious. Like, if something happens again,
especially if they live there, too.
Yeah, I'm breaking down their fucking door. And I'll be like, I fucking told you, dude. So, one more ice cube. So I went back down. The game's back on. Bulma's outside. She's getting ready for bed. She's in the kennel. I hear something hit. And I went, this motherfucker. I walked outside and more ice cubes hit. I just hear, I'm sorry. I just looked and I was just like, oh. And I was like, just don't go to jail tonight, David.
Yeah, good.
Don't go to jail tonight, David.
Ice, I give a pass. Just because ice melts, But puke, cigarette butts, and bottle caps, that's...
Yeah, so that's why I told him, I was like, look, I've been letting a lot slide, but now I'm done. And and he's my jerk of the week. And I swear to God, Teach... I was about to call you. I was going to say your name. I swear to God, if something else happens, I'm not like you. I'll fuck somebody up. Even if they fuck me up, I'm still getting some punches in. And I swear to God, if I see one more chunk of something on my fucking patio, I'm calling the apartments and be like, hey, look, by the way, the guy that lives in 24 or whatever, I was like, he's going to die tonight. And then you're going to have to, have a vacancy. So just FYI. So, there you know. And I'm going to tell them why, and then I'm going to go murder somebody.
Oh my God.
Over vomit, because that's gross.
That's fucking nasty.
Yeah, so that was my trick of the week. Oh, my blood pressure got all...
I know.
And then Houston started losing. That's what I was saying. I'll get back to that. And then Houston was losing, and I was like, God! Yeah, so last night was not...
No, that's fucking... Upstairs neighbors are the fucking worst. Oh, God, they're the fucking worst. Don't be a shitty upstairs neighbor.
Don't be a shitty upstairs neighbor, man.
We all have our parties and this and that. You just gotta talk. It's just all communication. Like, if you're gonna have a party, you're upstairs, go fucking talk to your downstairs neighbor. Let them know you're having the party. I guarantee you, right, if they would have come in, the vomit is no excuse. But, like, the ice cubes... Maybe the beer caps, definitely not the cigarettes, because that's just fucking dangerous. But it's like, that might have slide if they would have been like, hey, David, look, I'm this guy upstairs, having a party, right? That would have totally changed the night, right? Because you'd have been like, well, he let me know, I kind of was expecting this, but meanwhile, they have no understanding of, like, what they're putting people through that live under them. Like, that just fucking sucks. You gotta go up there and confront them. And that's the worst fucking thing to do. Because, like, why are you gonna make me be the asshole? Like,
yeah, because Leslie knows how bad my anger is. Like, at work, I may not show it, but, like, my anger is fucking bad. Like, I'm not scared to square up anywhere, anytime with anybody. I don't care how big or small you are. I'll fucking knock a child out if he's talking mad rowdy shit.
Well, I like a child too because I know I'll win.
Yeah, right? And I was like, that's a guaranteed W. But yeah, so I came back home and Leslie was like, what happened? Like, what happened? And I was like, told him. Yeah. I was calm. I didn't cuss at him. I didn't call him any names, even though I wanted to. I was like, but I calmly handled it. I kept my cool. He apologized like a million times. I told him I don't care.
Which is good, because that obviously means that, he's not the worst piece of shit in the world. Because
he's not. He
seems
genuine.
People out there that have been like, well, I pay my rent here too. And, but, they could have gone that fucking way, like my piece of
If
shit.
he would have gone that route, I guarantee we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Well, yeah.
But no, like, he seemed genuinely sorry. He seemed very embarrassed because of his friend.
How old did he seem?
He seemed like my age, maybe a year younger.
Okay.
He was a young buck. Like I said, he was a little hick guy.
Yeah.
Little skinny twerp. I could have easily taken him, but that's not the fact. That's not the point. Yeah, I'm just. Oh my God. And that kept me up for a while too, because I was still really heated over it. Like I was like laying in bed and I was like drenched in sweat, like laying in bed, like. It's okay, just calm down, it's over, nothing happened, just calm down, Bulma's fine, it got cleaned, it's...
Like, I have only felt that way once. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast before, but I think I have. When I moved out of my mom's place. Have I ever told you the story?
I was thinking of a Chacho story with your buddy, but that was your buddy.
Oh, no. Yeah, that wasn't even that bad either. The only time I, like, literally my hands and my, like, nose and lips felt numb from, like,
That being that angry.
Mm-hmm. And I do not feel anger that way. Like, I really don't process anger normally because I'm usually pretty lax about
Yeah,
things.
you really are.
So the setup is, which is what I'm going through now too. Not the same thing, but I think this is why I'm transitioning. I'm having to move with Mrs. Teach's mother because they split up. I think I can talk about it. It's the truth. They're splitting up. They have a house, but obviously they can't afford it if he's moving out into an apartment and blah, blah, blah. So we're moving in to take the payments up. So anyways, I've been dealing with a lot of this shit. But anyways, the story that makes me think about the anger thing. So at one point in my life, I was the only one working. I was living with my mom and her boyfriend. And her boyfriend they were always getting in fights at the time. They're engaged now and they're doing fine, but at the time it was really hostile. He's 15 years younger than my mother, so there was just a lot of conflict. And at one point they would get drunk and get fights, and I had to kick him out of our apartment one time because he was living there, she was living there, and I was living there.
Right.
But he blah 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 was making ass himself. I had to kick him out of the apartment, and my mother was like, yeah, I need to do, she wanted to leave him at the time too. She's like, but I just can't because he helps pay the rent. And I was like, you know what? I got his rent. I'm going to pay that much. I'll pay the 2/3. You pay your 1/3. And if that's what you want to do, right? So that's what we did for about a month maybe. And I get home one night from work. I think I worked a double too, right? So I had worked because I had to because I was paying 2/3 of the rent. So I worked this double. And all I remember at work being like, well, I got one tall glass of vodka. That's what I got left from a bottle. And I was like, I'm going to drink that. It's going to be a good time, whatever. I get home. All I hear is people having sex in the apartment, which is my mother, right? No one fucking wants to hear that bullshit. But even then, I am not an angry person. So even then, I go to the kitchen. So that was a drink break. I go to the kitchen. I grab that bottle with a little bit left, and I was pretty mad though because I was just like, shit, I've been busting my ass to pay this rent so that he doesn't have to be around, and here he is fucking my mother, right? Just waltzes in, I'm paying all the rent. But I said, you know what? She's a grown-ass woman, she's stupid, whatever. I've made myself a drink. And actually, it was very strong drink. It was all the vodka, right? So it's all the vodka, a little bit of ginger ale or whatever I was drinking at the time. And she comes out. And she's drunk. My mother is drunk. Mm-hmm. But she comes out, and I was just mad. I was like, are you serious? I was very calm, though. I was just like, are you serious? That's all I said. And she was just like, well, he doesn't... She was just giving me some bullshit, whatever. And I was just kind of blowing it out, because I'm like, I'm just going to get drunk, and I'm just going to, go to sleep, and I got work tomorrow, so fuck it. I don't care. We'll figure it out later. My mom goes to my drink because it was on the counter and it was clear looking. She thought it was a glass of water. She goes and takes a drink of it and goes, ugh! Throws the glass of my last of my vodka down the sink and puts the glass down. And I went fucking red.
Man.
Because that was
your drink. Yeah.
Because out of all of it, that was what I focused of well, fuck it.
This is the highlight of the day.
At least I have this.
Right.
My mother's fucking this guy that I'm paying his rent, basically. Now he's in there. That's gross, right? I have to come home to that. And she throws the vodka out. And she's drunk. So she just was like, she has no idea. She's just drunk. Throws out the vodka, because there was vodka, almost pure vodka. Throws it out and walks back to the room. My hands, my nose, my lips went fucking numb. And I grabbed the glass. And I threw it at my mom's door and just shattered, right? Mm-hmm. It just shattered. Fucking glass. I've never thrown a glass in my life like that. If she was in front of it, I still would have thrown it. I feel
right.
If he did. And she comes out and was like, oh my God, what? And I was like, what the fuck? And I just lost it. I just fucking lost it. Me and him, it's funny because we're cool now, but we got into it a little bit. We started kind of throwing each other around,
right.
But because I was still because we were kind of grappling a little bit, kind of just wrestling a little bit.
Kind of
but no one wanted to throw a punch, a full punch, because we were
just pushing and shoving
don't
type
want to
thing.
get because I was like, fucking punch me, give me the fucking reason,
right.
But he went, and I didn't want to do it either because I didn't want to get in trouble either. Though And finally, my mom, whatever happened, he ended up just leaving. I said, fuck you, fuck him, fuck this apartment. I grabbed all my shit and moved out. I mean, I lived in my little room or whatever. I had a room. I swear to God, I packed everything I had. And I was driving a 95 Cougar at the time.
Really?
So it was kind of wide, kind of a thick back. I packed the only thing I didn't leave was my futon. But I packed my posters, my clothes, my TV, my cat, the litter box. I mean, I had my seat all the way up on the, like, I couldn't even really fit on it. I was like this, like, in my car. Like, you can't see my feet are, like, up because I had shit just so pushed up. Driving with my cat, driving to my dad's place to just stay the night. 2 weeks later, I had my first apartment.
Nice.
And ever since then, I've had my, quote unquote independence, where it's just like I've always just been on my own.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Teach was around too, and I think I mentioned about her helping out with stuff and this and that because she lived at her parents' place for a while until she moved in. But so it's interesting now because I'm moving in with Mrs. Teach's mom and her two younger brothers that are a junior and a sophomore. No, freshman. I'm sorry. They're going to be a senior and a sophomore next year.
God.
And I am a little freaked out about
the testosterone that's going to be flowing through that home, man.
I don't really give, and I understand their aspect because they're high school kids, but at the same time, like actually yesterday, no, I'm already pissed off about it. So like yesterday, not pissed off, but I'm like, we need a lock on our room. Because so like we go to yesterday to barbecue and stuff, and I brought like a bag of chips because I wanted these chips for the sausage that I was grilling, right? I like the bratwurst with like a bun and potato chips. I like the lightly salted potato chips. And so
are you lightly salted about the situation?
I'm lightly salty about it. And so, blah, blah, blah. I'm eating the chips as I'm cooking or whatever, and they're just out on the table just because we're grilling or whatever. It's really not a big deal, but it's just, to me, it's a prelude of what is to come. Like, little grievances that are just going to bug me. Because what ended up happening was, like, we cook, we eat, we put everything away, blah, 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 and then we watch a movie. We watched A Quiet Place. It's really good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's the guy from
John Krasinski.
Yeah, Jim Halpert. That's what I think of. It was really good. But in my head, I'm like, once this movie's done, I'm gonna go get another sausage and some potato chips. That's what I want to eat. And I'm like, where the fuck are the potato chips? And then like we find out like the boys took them to the room and ate them all. And I'm like, fuck. Of course they did. They're high school kids. Of course they found a bag of potato chips and just went and ate them all. A giant bag of potato. Of course they did. But I'm like, I'm not used to that because I don't live with fucking high school kids anymore. Like,
right.
Like, I have little things I'm going to have to get used to. Like, anyway, I sound like a fat ass. I'm mad about potatoes. I'm not mad about the potato chips. It just, that's things.
It's the principle of the matter.
It's the principle of the matter. Where usually when I'm at home and I have my potato chips, they're just fucking there.
Because when you live with just your fiance, it's just whatever you bought that you like. It's typically, Mrs. Teach isn't going to like what you like. Like, the things I like, Leslie doesn't like at all. So I know I don't have that fear of someone eating it.
Mrs. doesn't like what are the original potato chips. She only likes like the jalapeno flavored or like the sour cream and onion. I buy original potato chips because I like original potato chips. The boys do too. Like, I have to think about this shit now too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for me it was like, I like original potato chips. I can buy a big bag that's gonna last me like a week. Can't do that with 2 teenage boys.
Dude, fucking a week? Try like 2 weeks. Like, that shit. Chips last forever in our place.
Well, I do like original. It does a week because I will just snack on original potato chips. Like, I'll just.
I have to have ranch. Like, I'm a chip
like
dip guy. Yeah, like
I like dip too.
So I can get like yesterday. So on Sunday when we barbecued after SeaWorld, we went to HEB and we bought some stuff. So I bought regular potato chips and bought barbecue potato chips, and I had ranch dip at the house. So yesterday, Leslie and I got into a little tiff about stuff. So yesterday, I was in the living room, she was in the bedroom, and I'm in the living room. It was before dinner time, and I was just like, man, whatever, I'm gonna eat chips. I'm fucking hungry. So I opened the bag of barbecue, because I bought barbecue potato chips. That's my favorite, is barbecue. It goes barbecue, then original. So I opened the barbecue chips, and I still have a good thing of the Hill Country Fare, the ranch. You know, it comes in that blue and white bottle. Fairly new, only used it a tiny bit. So I went through that whole thing of ranch, like that whole leftover thing, and I went through almost like 3/4 of that bag of chips. Just because when I'm eating chips and dip, I just get lost in it.
Yeah.
And then I try to scoop as much dip as I can on the chip to where I have like this much to grip the actual chip, and it's all dip.
Wow.
And I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's fucking 6 o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, we're about to eat dinner in a little bit. Like, I need to.
So for me, I like dip too, but I like to just stick the chip in whatever sticks. Just that.
Really?
Much. I do not like scoop.
I'll do that for the most part, but it's like if I feel like I don't have enough, I got to go back.
No, I don't even do the full chip. I do like a third of the chip just to get
really?
like a little bit of grease on, or basically because it's sour cream or whatever it is. It's just a little bit of flavor on it. But anyways, the point is I don't care about the chips. I don't care about whatever. I get that. Like,
no, you care about the chips.
I don't care about what I care about is actually it's this aspect of this lost kind of like mentality that I don't get to just be free anymore. It's not a free sense of just like buying your own. It's like you're buying for the house now. Like anything you bring home, that's up for grabs.
Yeah.
You know, anything though. It's not even just food or anything. It's like if I buy alcohol, I have to think about these boys that are living in, in their high school.
I would hope they wouldn't take it.
No, of course. One of them's already smoking pot. That's another thing. Is like I like I've expressed on the show where I like to smoke a little pot at the end of the night, and a little bit, like very little bit, and I am pot is very strong to me. Like I can't smoke a lot of it. I buy 2 grams every like month. Like the month starts, I buy 2 grams. Me and Mrs. Teach both smoke that within a month, which is, if there's any pot smokers out there, that is not a lot. That is like, they're probably like, what are you even doing buying it? Like,
I'm like, is all lost on me.
We like just to corner like a little bit and just smoke a little bit, go to sleep, kind of watch TV a little bit, go to sleep. Mrs. Teach's older brother he's gotten busted smoking pot a few times now. And so the thing is, like, if he wasn't into it, it wouldn't be too weird of a thing if, like, we smoked a little bit and, like, if the mom has no idea what pot is, so it would be like, oh, just some weird incense we're burning, right? But he fucking knows, so it's like, we can't be smoking a little bit of pot in a room, the brother's gonna fucking know, he's gonna smell and be like, that's pot. Like, if they get to smoke it, why don't I? Even though it's like, because I'm a grown-ass man, and we take care of shit. We have jobs and this and that. You're a punk-ass high school kid. You don't get to do it until you get to wait till you're 26 like I did. Like, I didn't start smoking until I was 26. But you can't do that. I gotta think about that now, right? Like, I can't just smoke pot in the room, have it smell, have them know. It's a whole dynamic now. It's totally different.
Man.
Lost fucking, what am I saying? Lost, what's the word?
Cause?
Freedom.
No, lost freedom.
I feel like I'm losing my freedom as like a adult. I feel like my thing too is like, I've always kind of looked down on people that go move back in with their parents, which is not good. That's not good because some people have to do that, blah, blah, blah. But I have friends out there that, like kids, we have not had a child because we both don't feel like we're financially able to do it. And meanwhile, all of our friends don't give a shit. They're just like, we don't need the condom, we need whatever. And then they get pregnant, move back in with their parents. And there's this whole charade of like, well, we're gonna have a house later. Like, they have to make this whole fucking talk about like how they have their life together. But it's like, nope, you had a kid too young and you can't afford it. And now you're just fucking getting by, right? I don't want to do that. That's why we don't have kids. That's why I don't move in with my parents. But we are technically moving back in with Mrs. Teach's parent. Even though it's not because we can't afford a lifestyle, it's to help them out. But it still feels like I'm losing part of my independence moving in with a parent. I can't shake that for some reason. Even though I know it's like I'm helping them, I cannot shake the feeling that I'm losing some aspect of this.
No, I agree. And that's something, honestly, too. Like, if I were to move back in with my parents, or we live with her parents, I would feel the same way. Because one, and this is gonna sound funny, I've never taken a shit at Leslie's parents' house.
That's another fucking thing.
I've never taken a shit.
I'm a fucking closet shitter.
Oh my god, I am the shyest pooper of all time.
Shyest pooper, that's, yes.
Yeah, a shy pooper.
I'm a shy pooper.
God bless. And it's like, I've barely gotten comfortable. I just let I think I've let 3 farts out tonight, and I've been coming to your house for how many weeks every week?
Is that not... See, I don't even fart. I don't even fart around Miss Teach. I
farted on the balcony.
Yo, you fart a lot here, though. I thought you were cool with it.
No. Like, I've let out silent ones, but this is when I'm like, all right, safety. Like, or I've gotten comfortable.
Oh, you're not usually... You don't do that?
No.
I thought you were cool.
I would hold it in. Like, remember when I used the bathroom?
You can go back to that, David.
No, okay, sorry. Remember when I used the bathroom because I was like, man, my stomach is really hurting me. Like, I can't... I wanted to cry on the toilet because like I'm pooping in somebody else's house. Oh my god!
Well, see, you know how bad it is for me. I would have literally went back to my place.
Really? You would have went back home?
Oh yeah, I would have literally went back.
I don't think I would have made it home if I would have left.
I would have not. I'm not trying to like say like you suck or whatever. It's just like
God damn it, David.
No, like I am such a nervous. Like I cannot. I've been at my work for. I'm 26 years old. First of all, take that into account. 26 years of life. And it's taken 2 years for me to be comfortable to take a shit at my work. And even then, when I'm taking a shit, if someone walks in, I just sit there.
I clench up, dude,
until they leave. I will.
I'm
sit
the same
there
way.
And I know sometimes they come in and they sit next to me because they feel like, oh, he must be done. I will wait them out, and I can tell.
Same, dude. I'm the same way.
I can tell they're like, why are they? And nothing's shitty. No one's wiping. Like, what are they waiting for? And I'm like, I'm not leaving until you.
I get paranoid. Like when I start wiping. Like when I start wiping, and somebody walks into the bathroom. Yeah. I'll stop and just sit there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'll just like because I feel like someone's going to, even though no one's going to. I feel someone in that little crack is going to go.
My worst fucking fear is, and I go to the handicap stall because it's from where my work is. You can't look in. Here's the stall and the door's right here. Mm-hmm. You can't see this, but I'm showing David. But so if they were to look in, all they see is wall.
Right.
And sometimes the doors, it's always open. Like if there's no one in there, it's only closed if someone's in. They still fucking come in and jiggle it like if they got stuck, and I'm just like,
why is this closed?
If the door's fucking closed, don't fucking jiggle it. Like just quietly maybe turn it to see if it's locked and walk away if it's locked. Like fucking jam the door. Like
what the fuck?
Anyways, so I will fucking wait on everyone. It's super awkward for all of us, but I'm like, I am not leaving because I feel like if I see someone in the bathroom, it's gonna ruin my life. I know that's irrational, but I just feel like
they're like, oh, did you see the teach? He took a dump today.
Right, exactly. Like he fucking shits. Fire him. Like get the fuck out of here.
Who the fuck does he think
Who has
he
bodily functions in this office? Like, yeah, I don't know. I have the weirdest thing with that. That's another thing of mine too. And I'm already telling Mrs. Teacher, like, we gotta buy it's 3 bathrooms because they have 2 full bathrooms, with a shower and 1 half bathroom downstairs. I'm like, we gotta buy 2 extra bidets now because I'm fucking used to bidets. And I'm gonna go to any bathroom that is away from everyone else because the one bathroom that we're closest to, the youngest brother, his new room is the loft. Which is right outside our fucking room, our new room it's gonna be. Which he plays video games till all ends of the night, yelling at the fucking TV.
Like most teenagers do.
Which I'm like, that's gonna suck too, because I'm like, I need to go to sleep. Like, I am gonna be pissed when he's yelling at a chode motherfucker to eat his shit cum at 2 a.m. And I'm like, I'm sleeping. Like
the insults teenagers have, man.
Oh yeah, I've heard everything with them. I mean, it's all, God, it's god awful. And this Mrs. Teach today was like, please don't leave me. She's like, just don't. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm overthinking everything.
Right.
I'm sure it'll be fine once it all happens. I go, and even if it does get to that point, I'm like, we would just leave. We would just move out. Like, I'm not gonna leave you. Mrs. Teach was like, don't leave me.
She got paranoid.
She's freaking out too. What I'm mad about is fucking dad. That's my jerk of the week. And Mrs. Teach asked me not to do that, but
fuck it.
He's my jerk of the week.
Who cares?
Because I also have to chip my shoulder with my mother too doing this too. It's just like when you have your family, you made your vows. You made vows.
Right.
Like, don't take vows. It's not just cause.
Man, that's, I don't know, man. The whole marriage thing, and honestly, and that's something that I'm really afraid of, is because I know, like, if Leslie and I were to break up, it would be because of me. Like, I know that for a fact because of my anger, and that's what really helped me calm down a lot too with last night, is because the way Leslie was like, babe, please, like begging me to calm down. And like that was a really ugly feeling, but I can't help it because...
Now, would it be you because Leslie's going to leave you over it, or because you feel like you would get so angry that you would want to opt out?
Leslie would get sick of it and leave me for it. Because my parents have fought several times because I honestly get my... It comes from my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
Because my dad still to this day is such an angry person. Any little thing will set him over the edge. Yeah. And my mom has walked out on us several times because of my dad's anger. And I've sat and watched, like, I've seen my dad get pissed off at himself, but take it out on us kids.
Yeah.
Not, like, physically or anything, but like...
say you acknowledge this, so you already have an upper hand now.
And it's like, but it's so hard, and I've tried, like, I've been in anger management when I was younger, when I was in elementary and middle school. I've done all the little anger workshops. I've done... so much stuff. I just can't help it that small little things just like if something like honestly like I'm trying to think of a perfect example. I really can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm like any little thing that just goes wrong, I'm like fuck, like I just get so over the top. Like I'm just like I can't fucking take it. Like I'm done.
And do you acknowledge that you see your dad in yourself at that moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then that makes me even more mad because I'm like growing up. I don't want to be like my dad. Da da da. So when I act like my dad, I'm like fuck. I'm like my fucking dad. And da da da. Oh, and then like it's so bad.
Me too.
And so today is my grandpa Claire's birthday. I lost him 2 years ago. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Shout out to the first.
Right? To the
Senior?
OG.
How do you say it?
Yeah, well, he's just David Winkler.
Senior?
Yeah, you can call him Senior now, but his name was just
Well,
David
that's
Winkler.
your dad. Your dad would be senior, though, right?
My dad is the second.
Oh, the second.
Yeah.
So he would be senior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm the third. And so, and my grandpa, very bad anger, too.
Yeah.
And, that caused a lot of marital problems with that. And, something that always bothered me as a kid was seeing, because I've always felt like I've been the happier child, like I've been the one that's more outgoing and more comedic and everything, clearly
versus your father or like
versus my father. Like I've always felt like I'm more like my mother because she's very open, she's very outspoken, very comedic, very happy all the time. As my dad, he's very quiet to himself, always serious,
gets things done, but doesn't matter how it gets done.
Right.
Just gets done.
So, like, in seeing my parents fight over my dad's anger, I've seen my dad beg on his knees for my mom to stay and everything. And I was like, I don't want that to be me. So, and again, in some of these non-proud moments of me and Leslie's relationship, I've taken something that's very minuscule and escalated to something where I'm yelling and screaming in the apartment. Leslie's walked out on me. And I'm calling her. I'm trying to... Yeah. Leslie's walked out on me because of my anger. Everything's been reconciled, obviously, because we're still together.
Right.
But in those moments, that's when I really feel like my dad. And I've had, outbursts in my home when I'm by myself where I'm like, fuck, God, and this and that. And I've, and... Again, I'm not proud of some of the things I've told Leslie and I've said in these arguments and everything. It's led to some ugly moments, and I've been in that position where I'm begging Leslie not to leave me, and I'm like, and I've come a long way from when we first started living with each other. Because when we first started living with each other, we nearly broke up like several times. Like when we first started living, I've been progressing. But that is something that I still deal with is my anger, in all reality of it. But yeah, and so that's why I'm like, I want to be better than my dad, better than my parents.
They want that for you too.
Yeah. So, to speak about the whole dad situation and like, I forgot where I'm digressing with this, but
well, I'll interlude.
Yeah, I was like, go for it. I'm rambling.
So the aspect of you having these, tips and whatever is good. I think it's good, and I think we've always talked about the older generation not being able to communicate so much, and they walk out and that's the end all. It always is like the big fight is the big fight and that's it. I'm done. And because I feel like they're seeing their parents going, the baby boomers, excuse me, that sounded funny. Where they were miserable though, like they would not get divorced. They didn't talk either, but they were not going to get divorced, right? Our grandparents were like, I don't care if I fucking hate my life, God doesn't allow this, so we're not. So then Generation X, our parents were like, yeah, no, fuck it. If I'm gonna marry whoever I want, I'm gonna divorce whoever I want as many times as I want. Fuck it, you know.
Right.
They did. Obviously, my parents, my mother, and my dad twice now, even though he never wanted to. But that was cool with it because they were seeing their parents. I feel like as millennials, this is an aspect that we can utilize, is that we've seen our grandparents who hate marriage and hate each other. It doesn't work out because they got married very young and they got married out of necessity for... There was still an aspect of dowry and stuff, and this and stuff too, where it was like wealthy families, you know, not so much as like I'm going to give you this much money or a pig or something,
right.
like a dowry. The aspect of like it's a wealthy family or we'll take you in, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't seem the case anymore, especially with our parents either. They got married for love, but
Right.
they got married for like very superficial love, where it was just like, I'm infatuated and I'm lusting over this person. I want to marry you, but then 10 years down the road, I fucking hate you and I'm done. I'm not going to be like my parents, so I'm going to divorce you. I'm not going to live unhappy. Whereas as millennials now, we see both aspects. We see the aspect of our grandparents who were so concrete with staying with something where they didn't realize how long marriage was. And then we also see our parents who didn't realize how long marriage was either, and they just divorce all the time. And that fucks up families too. It fucks up children. It fucks up mentalities. You know, we are in this aspect where we've seen both things aspect. So if you want to get married, obviously, even now in this day and age, marriage does not even have to be on the table anymore.
No.
You can be polyamorous. You can be non-married. You can just be dating. You could just have a family. You can be a baby daddy. You can, you know, there's so many aspects. Marriage is not the end all anymore. And if you want to get married, it is a choice, and it's a conscious choice that you can evaluate if you really want to do it. I am doing it this year in October. I'm doing it knowing, and I've told Mrs. Teacher, I'm like, we might hate each other in 10 years, right? Or 5 years, or 15 years, or 20 years. We might be at a point where we hate each other. We're going to deal with it, though, because things always change. Even though we feel like this and that, and it changes, though. It's not so concrete. We can talk, and we can get through it if... Hopefully we never do. But I'm ready to take that on, that challenge, that obstacle, and get through it. I'm choosing you for a life partner. We're monogamous. That's funny too, because in this day and age, you can choose monogamy. It's not just the end all. You know, monogamy is a choice. So we can do that, and it's good to have these tips, especially when you're dating. That's why, also with Mrs. Teacher, the Korean aspect, the Korean thing where it was like, which also reflects to me like Christian and Mexican households who are like, you can't move in, you know, if you're not married. You can't live together if you're not married. I'm like, no, we're humans. If you're really going to pick a partner for marriage, before you get married, because that is a vow, that is a commitment, that's religious, or even if it's secular, it's still a vow. You can be a secular vow. You need to know the fucking person. Live with them. If y'all don't fucking jive, y'all can't get married.
Right.
You know?
It's not gonna, like, if you can't handle living together, how are you gonna handle marriage?
Yeah.
And I agree with that. So it's like, yeah, so I mean, every problem we've had, Leslie and I have talked it out. Mostly it's me. Because while I'm the one that jumps to the angry side right away, I'm also one that jumps to the rationalization quicker as well. Because Leslie shuts down very quickly. Like, where she, like, just doesn't communicate. And what the biggest problem was early on in our relationship is that she wouldn't ever tell me anything, but she would tweet everything. So I wouldn't know what she would be mad at me about until I would go on to fucking Twitter. Yeah. And then I would see that she would be venting out to the world, but she wouldn't be telling me. And it's because of the kind of guys that she dated prior to me that wouldn't give a fuck about what she's upset with. They'd only be like, why, like, get over it, like, da-da-da. Kind of, like, not, like, discredit. They would discredit what she's upset about.
No communication there.
Exactly. And so, but if Leslie messed up, they'd be quick to point her out and this and that. Yeah. So, and even to this day and age, there's times where Leslie really upsets me and something really bothers me. But I'm like, you know what? And then I think about it. I take a deep breath. I'm like, Leslie deals with a lot more. This is just a small, like, whether it's like going, like, canceling something I planned to go take care of something that's more important with her. This is not, it's like, okay, like, I'm like, there's that give and take.
I'm not trying to be a therapist here, but it's good to do that, right? To acknowledge stuff, and if you're able to just kind of step back and be like, yeah, I can accept this. But it's also good, that's good all on its own, sure. Mm-hmm. But it's also very good, especially for the relationship in the long run, to be like, I'm okay with this and it's fine, but just go, this is kind of how I feel about it right now. Like,
Right.
And just sort of, that's the thing though, is, you know, guys, throwing feelings out and this bullshit. Just man up, you know, stiff upper lip, bite your tongue. Just get through it. I've talked to Mrs. Teach, like, with this whole moving thing, and it's been kind of rough because I can tell she's getting anxious about it too, but I'm like, look, this is just how I'm feeling. Like, I'm anxious. I had a mini panic attack last night, like, losing that. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing or a wrong thing, but it's just how I'm feeling. I'm just working through it, you know, and I'm just letting you know where I'm at with it so that you can know. So if I explode later or something, well, in the attempt that I won't explode because I'm just letting it out now. Right. But if I do, you see where it's coming from, though. Like, I've already expressed where this comes from. So it's not just like a secret attack. You know, you hold stuff in if you don't let them know, and you're just like, it's always stepping back going, well, they can do that, they can do that, they can do that. And something happens, you go, you always fucking do this, and you never let me do this, and every time I just step back and don't let you know. And then they're like, whoa, where's this coming from? Like, you never said anything before.
And that was a huge problem.
I'm not saying you do that.
No, yeah. But I'm saying that was a huge problem for Leslie and I back in the day, because it was, if she was going to go out and do something I didn't want to do, oh, you're the asshole, David, why you don't want to do anything with me, da-da-da. If I wanted to go hang out with the boys or go do something, why don't you want to hang out with me? What are you going to be doing? This and that. So it got to a point where I was like, look, I'm fucking sick of it. Grow the fuck up. Like, you're an adult.
It worked for David. Doesn't always have to be so aggressive. But yes, this kind of come to Jesus talk can work. Though.
So it's like, you know, grow the fuck up. You're an adult. I'm an adult. If you want to go out with your friends, that's fine. Tell me, hey, I'm doing this. It's probably going to run late. I'm an adult. Yeah, no shit. You're going out drinking with your friends. That's always going to be a late night. Yeah. As long as you're, like, telling me, hey, I'm really fucked up, this is what we're doing, da-da-da, or like, hey, our plans actually changed, we're doing this.
It's only bad when they start lying or something. Or
exactly.
They start hiding stuff. It's like, what do you have to hide, though? Like,
exactly.
If you're really just going out with your friends and hanging out, just let me know.
That's my only concern. And it's like, hey, you know what, like, you guys are grabbing a late night meal because you want to soak up the booze, just tell me. Because if you tell me, hey, I'm going to be home around 10, but it's fucking 2 in the morning, and I'm like, where the fuck? Like, oh, well, we did this, and this. I was like, just text me that, so that way I'm not stressing out.
Right.
Like, where the fuck?
Picked you up at the club and like.
Not so much that, but
no,
it's
but
like,
you know, your imaginary,
the imagination runs wild.
Right.
But it's like, well, did something happen? Did your car break down? Like, what's going on? Because, like, with me, like, if I say I'm going to do something, because I have to plan stuff out weeks in advance in order for, so I have to plan, and I tell us, like, hey, I'm making this plan for this date where I plan on doing this, but everybody fucking bails on the events I plan. Teach. So
low blow.
The plans I make don't even go through, so it doesn't even matter with me planning them out because everyone bails. But yeah, but yeah, that's how I am. I plan everything out, but I tell her, I'm like, hey, look, if I don't text you, it's because I'm hanging out with my friends, or it's because I'm doing this, but I text you as soon as you can, da da da. So that was a problem that was really big early on in our relationship, especially when we started living together. Especially because I turned 21 first, so I was getting, drinks and stuff with coworkers and this and that. I wasn't doing anything bad. I was just, but I would text her, hey, I'm doing this. But it was that aspect, well, that's not fair, da-da-da-da. She started turning 21, go do stuff with her family and this and that. And then, but my only concern was, I don't know where you're at. Like, I'm concerned because I'm like, hey, I anticipate, like, unless I'm told otherwise, when I come home from work, I'm anticipating she's there. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting, all
communication.
Yeah,
it's
so
communication.
If that's the only tip we can really give. I know we said don't take anything we say to heart.
Right.
But communication, honestly, is the biggest thing.
And meanwhile, I'm a shit boyfriend and fiance and friend and all that, so...
You're not a shit friend.
So it's all speculation, but honestly, you don't have to be the best at everything to give good advice either.
You don't.
So who cares?
Who fucking
But
cares?
Maybe... you could use a little bit, maybe.
Right, yeah. And we're here for advice, too. You have problems? Let us know. We'll try to...
Oh, yeah.
We'll try to think off the top of our head,
Be random with it, too. I always think it was cool if you just do random things and no one has to know. We can just...
say you're anonymous. So
you can use. Well, I think the thing is maybe because they know you personally, they don't want you to know. But it's very easy to go on gmail.com, make a fake ass,
create a fake account.
12345 210 @gmail.com. Bam, we got an email address. You have no idea who you are. Or a Yahoo or an AOL. Make it real. Fucking
do a fucking Comcast. Like. Dude, like, yeah, so, like, we really want this show to be an outlet for you guys, stuff maybe. Yeah, create an anonymous account. Email us like, hey, I'm having this problem in my relationship, or, hey, what do you think about this? Who's your favorite porn star to jerk off to?
Right.
Because, honestly, April O'Neil is someone I've been getting into, so that's someone I discovered a while back. What's up?
I gotta look her up.
Oh, yeah, man, spot on. April O'Neil.
She's not ethnic.
Actually, I think she's white. She's just tan.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, I'm pretty tapped out.
Yeah.
As far as if we were about to ramble on forever on that, but
no, I could, but I'm drunk as fuck.
Yeah. But other than that, hopefully we provided some insight into our lives yet again. Thank you guys as always for supporting the show. Keep sharing it. Upvote everything. Keep liking us, sharing the Facebook page. You never know who's looking for two drunk idiots spouting
we are
out.
those idiots.
Yeah.
That you might need to listen to.
Right.
Or your friends might need to listen to.
Exactly. So, again, love you guys so much. As always, I'm David Clare.
I'm the Teach.
No, don't do it. No. No, I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No.